Hey guys, real quick up top, we have a platform. We want to use it for good, and we just want to firmly say that we stand with Black Lives Matter. We stand with George Floyd and all the other African Americans who have been abused or lost their lives at the hands of police brutality. And we're so proud of all the protesters out there who are fighting for a more just society. We're proud of you guys who are out there using your voices for good, and the change is happening. So let's keep it rolling.
I totally agree with Chad. I've seen the protests. I've been so inspired by what I've seen. It's our job to be empathetic, and I think that's what's going to get us to a better place, and also to donate. So we're going to put up some links to places where you guys can donate money to try and help and push this cause forward so we can all be a part of the positive change that's coming.
Absolutely. All right.
Now Anders home.
Cool. Let me know when I got the green light.
Good to go.
All right, got the green light. What's up, guys? This is Chad Kroger coming in with the Going Deep with Chad and JT podcast. Guys, before we begin, I want to remind you once again that we are brought to you by Manscaped. Manscaped, thank you so much for keeping our trims pubed, for looking after our hogs, for making sure that our dongs are looking fresh and clean. Because when you roll up to a neighborhood and you see a freshly cut lawn, what do you think? That guy trims his pubes. So that's what we want for you guys. So use code GODEEP20 at manscaped.com. Go Deep 20. And we got our guest. Or first, I got my compadre, Jean Thomas. What up?
Boom, clap, stokers. What up, Chad?
We got our guest, Anders Holm from Workaholics, the legend.
What is happening? Pleasure to be here.
First question, do you manscape?
Yeah. I let it ride, and then I like have to deal with it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm not a regular trimmer. I think it's kind of fun to just let it rip and see how like wide your pubic area can get. Not how like full, but like what's the like.
Is it like an American football field or a Canadian football field?
Canadian is wider, correct?
Yeah, for sure.
Then I'm more of an American.
Oh, nice. Narrow patch. That's what's up.
Yeah. And then like after a while I go, you know what, man? Hey, let's just do this. We'll do this every 6 weeks, 2 months, something like that. I got a designated trimmer. So that's,
nice.
You know, I'm real. I'm like legit about it.
I like your method. It's sort of like your, you grow it out to see your potential, and then prom comes up and you got to get clean cut. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just see what it's like living that natch life, and then get all futuristic with it down there.
I love it.
Dude, good verbiage, dude.
Nice.
Where'd you grow up?
Evanston, Illinois, outside Chicago.
Oh, cool.
Is there good lingo there?
Yeah. It's yeah, for sure. We had some good shit. The one that sparks right off the top of my head is when we were in high school, there was a guy running for office named Dick Durbin. So like if you got a blowjob, it was called getting durbed.
Nice.
Which is like hyper specific to like the Chicagoland area. I'm not sure really anybody else did that. And then just kind of the run-of-the-mill shit too. But that was one that was very specifically ours. And then the chop, if you saw that on Workaholics, where like if you do something stupid, that's a chop on the back of your neck. That was something we did at our high school, middle school, and then there was a whole fucking like rules, the teenage rules to it, where it's like chop, then you could do a comeback, you could do 10 for contact, you could do a chop, scruff, and a muff, which is like a whole other thing. But yeah, it's crazy how kids just will like come up with these worlds.
We did conning where you would say something stupid, baiting somebody else to correct you, and then when they corrected you, you went, conned you, and you would act like you were taking a picture of them to commemorate their stupidity.
Right.
And then my buddy Ross came up with it, and then the football coaches pretended that they made it up and talked to the newspaper about it, and the newspaper reported on the coaches that it was their joke. But the coaches probably knowingly stole that from a fucking bunch of 16-year-old geniuses.
Right. That's brutal. By the way, the coaches were probably like 25. right?
That's true too.
And now
Yeah.
you kind of like see where they're coming from. You're like, all right, they were just like young dudes trying to have some fun too.
Yeah, they were my boys. That's true. Yeah, I didn't even
Yeah.
play football, so that was all just on the peripheral watching this happen. And actually, I didn't even go to that school anymore, so it's even weird. Like,
This is a weird story that's no longer yours.
Yeah, I have no
Yeah.
real personal stake in it. I should clarify. Yeah.
We also said, like in the lunchroom, if you were getting up, obviously someone could just snake your seat, right? So you would have to say save, and then it was yours. And if you got up and didn't say save, someone could call dirties. And then when you came back, they'd be like, sorry, man, I called dirties. And you're like, all right, fine. That's the rule of law.
You got to respect it.
But I do still say dirties sometimes. I'm 39 years old.
You look great.
Yeah.
Thank you. Fuck.
I think you got to keep the lingo too. I think that keeps you young.
It keeps you young until it immediately makes you super old, right? Like my dad, who weirdly went to my same high school.
At the same time?
Yeah. So it was like a science experiment gone wrong. We're turning into a movie. It's underneath this blanket. I can't tell you. But like he adopted dope immediately.
Oh, hilarious.
And he was probably, like late 50s, but he was like, I mean, the car I saw the other day was just dope. And like now he's 77 and he still drops dope. He still says the bomb. And it fucking works.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the bomb anymore. When my dad says it, he's like, and the sandwich was the bomb. And I'm like, yes.
Dude, my dad hangs out with younger people, and I heard him say, and I went to visit him, and I heard him say butt hurt the other day.
Wow.
Yeah, he was like, don't get all butt hurt about it. I was like, how old are you, dude?
Yeah. Yeah, it is weird. You do like a what? Is my dad in there?
Yeah. But
hey man, they're trying to do their thing.
Yeah.
That's a real deal one. If he's holding on to that, I'm stoked for him.
Yeah, it cracked me up.
Do you try to educate your kids on the lingo, or are you trying to make sure that they have the right verbiage going?
Right.
I speak accordingly, and then it is kind of funny to see my kid be like, Dad, like, check out this like Lego catalog. Do you see this? Can I get this for Christmas? I'm like, yeah. He's like, it's so sick. And I'm like, yeah. And he says dope. He says sick. I say off the hook and off the Richter scale a lot, and he doesn't say off the Richter scale. He doesn't say off the chain or off the hook, but like he definitely drops sick. Oh, he says smoked when like you beat somebody in a race.
Yeah.
And I say blazed a lot for the same thing, and he said it the other day, and I was just like, this is weird. He's like, oh yeah, I mean, he blazed him, Dad. I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
Do you let him watch rated R movies?
No, not yet. When I was 6, I was like the youngest of 3 kids. They kind of were like, well, the oldest kid, my oldest brother, Oli, he got Total Recall for his birthday. So like, that's what the kids are all going to watch, and like, I think I'd seen like Animal House and like RoboCop and Predator around 7 years old, probably.
Great movies.
Amazing movies, formative, but like super violent, right?
Yeah.
Like RoboCop is insane.
Yeah.
And it's like a satire, and I get that now, but as a kid, I'm just like, yeah, like people are super evil. They'll blow your hands and your dicks off and whatever. But I don't let my kids watch R-rated movies yet.
Yeah.
That's the trick with Paul Verhoeven movies. Like, because when you watch Starship Troopers when you're 12, you're just like, dude, blowing up bug aliens and like really hot ladies. But then you get older and you're like, whoa, is this about fascism? Nice.
Right. Yeah. He's the man. I love that.
Awesome.
I mean, I just said Total Recall too, but yeah, he's got some heat.
And my mom showed me Fargo when I was like 7. And I was just, I was like, they talk funny. That's hilarious.
Right.
And then I saw the wood chipper part, and I was like, Mom, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, why are you doing it? And that's a weirdly slow movie too, so I can't imagine it was like fun. You're just kind of like, should I be seeing this?
Yeah, I was just trying to kick it on her bed, and she's like, all right, we're gonna watch Sopranos, then Fargo. And I'm like, all right. I
used to watch Beastmaster a ton with my mom. I
Is that
think
like a
she thought the
long-haired
dude-
hot dude?
Yes,
the lead?
she thought he was very hot. Mark Singer.
I remember him now. Yeah.
And I was just like, this is amazing. The dude controls animals. And what is her name? Like Tanya. I think maybe her name was Tanya in the movie, but the actress was also a smoke show.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I think my mom was really into erotic movies, like with Svengali leads, where the guy was like super seductive, and I think that had a big influence on me in terms of what I thought it took to get. Like, I didn't think you could be nice because those were not the kind of male leads my mom was attracted to. She was attracted to like she always thought Kevin Spacey was hot, which is so weird now.
Yeah, that's a complex one. Did she like dudes who would like kiss hard?
Yeah, or she my mom thinks like James Spader in the Black Hat show or whatever it's called, The Blacklist. She thinks he's hot. She thinks he's hot in that because he's like very smart. He controls things.
Right. Well, he's also riding off of being a heartthrob from the 80s. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
he's still on that wave.
Yeah, dude, that's true. I mean, when in the 80s, he was real good looking. Yeah.
Pretty in Pink. You know, it's a sick movie. If you've ever seen, is it called Bad Company? I think it's called Bad Company, but it's basically like he plays this kind of dorky guy who gets a house or an apartment in Venice, and he's got a ton of money, but he can't meet girls. And then super hot dude. This is great for a podcast.
Think about it, dude. Take your time.
Rob Lowe.
Nice.
Is like this badass that like helps him out of a situation in a bar and then befriends him and then kind of like walks him down this path of like getting girls and like being the man. And then when it gets too crazy and he's got to kind of like cut him off as a friend, Rob Lowe like pulls one string and his life falls apart type thing.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah, it's rad. It's a good movie.
The 80s were the best with those kind of movies.
Yeah.
Like trusting the wrong person and then they kind of just like inordinately fuck up your life.
Yeah.
That's a good genre. Like Single White Female.
That shit. Body Heat. You ever see that movie?
Oh, dude, the Lawrence Kasdan movie? Yeah, everyone's sweating their asses off in that movie.
I mean, I feel like your mom would have that one on for sure.
Yeah, Mickey Rourke in that movie was definitely her speed.
Wait, no, it's not Mickey Rourke. It's William Hurt.
Yeah, but Mickey Rourke's is an arsonist buddy.
Is he? Holy shit.
He has like a small part in it and doesn't look like
Yes, you're
Mickey
right.
Rourke.
He like goes to him and is like, well, if you want to do
Yeah, he does the classic Mickey Rourke like mumble, but it's like very compelling. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like blah, 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 blah.
And watching that recently when William Hurt, he's like, he shows up at her house and she's like, nah, it's not going to happen. But he's like, but the tension is there. And then he just throws a chair through the fucking window and is like, we're fucking. I'm like, this does not fly. What is happening here?
Yeah.
But you know, pulse is racing. True. It's going down.
Did you ever see that Ray Liotta movie with Kurt Russell where it's like he's like Ray Liotta's a bad cop and Kurt Russell like has like a home invasion and him and his wife get scared and then Ray Liotta gets obsessed with his wife and like thinks Kurt Russell's like too much of a puss for her.
Oh fuck! What is that called?
I forget.
I don't know, but you're saying Ray Liotta, you're saying Kurt Russell. These are all the right things.
Yeah, those are my kind of movies. They really fucked up my head, but I really enjoyed them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Were those
the James Spader movie is Bad Influence, by the way.
Bad Influence.
Nice. Oh, thank you, Aaron.
Aaron, thank you.
1990.
Yeah. Aaron coming in like God.
Yeah.
Straight up.
With the fire. Who were your big influences? Who were your favorite directors growing up?
You know what's funny? Like really young, you know, like John Landis movies, Harold Ramis movies, all the ones that didn't seem like they had like such a stamp on them, but then you go back and watch them now and you're like, that's such a Harold Ramis movie or such a John Landis movie. Frank Oz movies. I fucking love Frank Oz movies, like House Sitter. You guys ever see a House Sitter with Goldie Hawn?
No.
And Steve Martin? It's just like Steve Martin meets Goldie Hawn, gives her his address, and he's like, I built this house and like my relationship's falling apart and now she doesn't want to move in with me. And then Goldie Hawn like squats in the house and starts meeting all the people in the small town saying that she's like his new wife. And then Steve Martin shows up and his parents are like, we just met your wife? Like, what's going on? But then he has to like play along with it. It's fucking great.
Oh, dude, you're giving me a lot of good
I gotta
movie
check.
recs, bro. I gotta check all this
Yeah.
shit out.
Check out House Sitter. It's just like a fun, light, and like it really rides on how amazing Goldie Hawn is as just like a
Mhm.
human. Like she's just super watchable. Death Becomes Her.
Yeah.
That movie's fucking sick. That movie's amazing. That's a Zemeckis movie who did all the Back to the Futures.
Oh, cool.
So
And
are
it's
80s,
like,
is 80s kind of your preferred decade?
well, this movie's 90s.
Oh,
But
shit, my bad.
I mean, like, I was born in 81 and I did all my movie damage super early on. And then, like, there was all sorts of dope shit in the 90s. But, like, I feel like the 80s took those swings and then the 90s was like, well, this is the new and improved version of whatever movie, you know?
Mhm.
But yeah, other influences, like all the fucking like Bill Murray shit, just
Yeah.
I dove in on that. I'm Gonna Get You Sucker was like a mind blower. That's like Keenan Ivan Wayans' first movie with like his brothers, his sister, and then like it's a spoof on blaxploitation movies,
Yeah.
and it is
Mhm.
a joke every second in like the Airplane style of, you know, Naked Gun type jokes, and it just blows your mind when you're watching it. You're like, how is a movie this funny?
It worked
Mhm.
for me as like an action movie when I was a kid too. Like when I saw it
Right.
as a kid, I was just like, this is a cool movie. Yeah.
Well, because the
Like I think a
soundtrack
lot of the
is
comedy
shit.
went over my head. Oh, nice. Yeah.
The
Or The Last
soundtrack like
Dragon.
hits. The KRS-One song comes on, like you're like, all right, Jack of Spades, this dude seems fucking cool.
Yeah.
Were you watching movies and as a kid, were you always interested in entertainment? Like you're like, this is what I want to do, or did that come sort of later on?
I mean, in addition to like just watching a ton of TV and like kind of being raised by TV, and like SNL, like when I
Yeah.
was super young, it was like Phil Hartman and Mike Myers, and then like the David Spade, um, Chris Farley era came after that. You know what I mean? And like, I feel like that era was like the most juvenile that's ever happened in the history of SNL. So like,
Mhm.
it just connects to 12-year-olds watching it.
Yeah.
And so I dug SNL. I was like, how do people do this? Like, what is that job? And then my oldest brother was into theater, and he did this like comedy show at our high school that was basically, it was written by the kids, directed by the kids, acted by the kids. And it was like a comedy show, you know? And I went and saw that and I was like, holy shit. These dudes are funnier than SNL. Like these
Mhm.
ideas, and like, again, super young, not everything like connected for me. Like I didn't know songs were like covers of the Beatles where they just changed the words because our
Yeah.
parents didn't really play music for us growing up.
Mhm.
But I was just like, this is the shit. And then when I got to high school or like 8th grade, that summer you had to like audition for the fall and like start rehearsing like before school even started, if you were like a freshman, obviously. So I auditioned for that, and I was like, my other brother played soccer. My oldest brother did the comedy show. So I was like, well, if I get in the comedy show, I'll do that. If I don't, I'll play soccer. And then I got into the comedy show and did that. So like that was my
Mhm.
first taste of entertaining people, you know, besides like bullshitting with your friends. And like me and my homie had like a talk boy, and we would do like fake Phil Donahue shows or like fake what was it his name? Like Jenny Jones. We would do like fake Jenny
Geraldo
Jones
Rivera.
episodes. Huh?
Geraldo Rivera.
Yeah, like Geraldo, all those like crazy talk shows that would just have like insane guests on.
Mhm.
And then so I did that, but then I quit my senior year to focus on swimming so I could get into a goddamn college. And then I
Yeah.
never really did it again until I decided to start writing stuff in college.
Right.
Did you
Yeah.
swim D1 at Wisconsin?
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And you
I
got all
was.
that movie knowledge? Damn, bro.
I mean, look, man, when you're not in the pool, you're just watching movies, and we're not watching movies. You're just in the pool looking at the bottom of the line.
Dude, I was a swimmer in high
Yeah?
school. What was your event?
I did
What were your
sprint
events?
freestyle, butterfly, 100
Yeah.
fly.
Oh yeah, I could see that. You seem like you have nice lats for the fly.
The lats are still there.
Damn,
They're
dude.
somewhere.
I could tell.
It's hard to get back in the pool though, man. It's tough. I try sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude,
But
college athletes are hard on themselves. Like I have friends who used to play volleyball. We go down to the beach and they hate themselves for not being able to like spike as hard. And they're like, I don't even want to play. And I'm like, they have a high standard for themselves. And I think once they dip below it, it's too hard to play casually.
It's tough. My dad was a college athlete. He played football, but like, and he was like the shit at he played D3, but he was like, he's in like the Hall of Fame for his D3 school, right? For football and golf. And he would always like take us out there and be like, you see this fucking plaque? Check it out. And I'm like, all right, cool, dude. D3. But like, I had never seen him like run in his life. And I think it's because of that whole thing where it's like, if I can't really like do it like I used to do it, I'm just not going to.
Mm-hmm.
But I try and maintain some shit. Like I started running. I was doing like CrossFit for a little bit, but it turned me into this weird fucking monster.
The traps, your traps got too big.
Yeah, I got just fucking mad traps.
Yeah, dude, I can't lift too heavy because I get too swole.
I remember, dude.
My brothers are like, they're like, you need to do Olympic lifts daily, and I'm like, dude, I got to be on camera. Like, I can't be a fucking nugget.
No. And by the way, like, I didn't get like cut up. I just got like swole, like just bigger.
You get blocky. Yeah.
I looked like a dude who just like throws rocks.
Yeah,
Chad, you asked me, you were like, "Am I too bulky?" And I was like, "Yeah." Like I was shy to tell you, but I had to let it rip.
I was just doing sprints.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I found is rowing.
Oh yeah.
Rowing is my shit. I got a new rower at the house now. Like, it works, man. I'm all about that shit.
Yeah, I got an assault bike, which is similar for the Q team. So I'm just on the balcony, just and then people were walking by and they're just watching me.
Yeah,
but
that's brutal. I don't know. I try and get back in the pool too. I go to the Rose Bowl, has a nice aquatic center, and I go there.
Oh, cool.
And fuck around with like the Masters team. It's all these old dogs, or like kids fresh out of college who like have their like school tattooed on their back and shit. Or you'll catch somebody with like Olympic rings on their arm, and you're like,
yeah,
all right, here we go, man. What are we up to? What are we doing?
Yeah.
I love the sport. I know people who like haven't gotten in the water since, which just seems tragic to me.
Yeah, I love the discipline. I wasn't very good. I'm too short, I think. I have short legs, but and my coach, I think he thought I was lazy, so he made me do the 500 free.
Oof.
I think just to punish me.
Right.
He didn't like me. Coach Donnelly, if you're listening, you can suck it.
Whoa.
Yeah, dude.
Sorry, dude.
How was your squad though?
I don't even want to do this.
What's up?
Was your squad good?
Honestly, nah. I hung out with the hockey players.
Where's this prep school?
In Connecticut.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Who was the like?
I like California, so I was just. What's up?
Was there like a specific good school out there for swimming?
Greenwich High.
Yeah.
That's not a prep school, but they were like, we would play them in water polo, and they would always just dominate us.
Yeah.
And it was sort of like you'd go into the game, you're like, I know I'm gonna get, tossed here, but this is just to learn.
Right. Yeah, I played water polo for a season in high school.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't keep my cool. Like I don't know how to I don't know how people play contact sports and then just don't lose it. Because like people be grabbing on me and I would just be like, I'm dunking, I'm holding, and they'd be like, foul, and I'm like, well, what are we doing here? And now later in life I go, oh, contact sports are about getting away with as much as you can and not getting caught. That's the whole thing. And I didn't understand that.
And there's honor in being able to measure the abuse properly. Like there's guys who hit hard, but they're not sadists, and you have deep admiration for those people. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I would do the grab the Speedo,
Yeah.
and pull him back. Do you ever do that move?
Yeah. I mean, that's what it is. That's the move.
I remember I did that to this kid. I pulled him back. He's like, oh! and then I scored like my only goal that season.
All I tried to do was score with the backhand.
Oh yeah, that's a nice move.
You know what I mean? I was like, you could do this all day, but if you were the guy who's just bobbing it and then you go behind your back,
yeah,
it was fucking sick. But
yeah,
I was no good.
I always enjoyed in Workaholics when you do the lat like snap.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to teach my kids that. They don't have enough meat on the bones yet, but
yeah, I think it's a good homage to swimming.
I mean, it was a real thing. I remember from being like a young buck on the deck and seeing older dudes doing it, and just being like, "Is that guy the coolest dude in the world?"
Yeah, dude.
Like just based on like the fluidity of slapping his arm against his body, and I was like, "This dude is a G."
Yeah,
I have to be him.
It's like where you want to explain it?
It's like you obviously have no shirt on because you're in a Speedo and shit. But you slap your arm so your bicep is loose and it hits your lat and you go and it claps. Right. And people do it before races just like super casually like clack, 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 clack. And you're just like, all right, this dude's probably pretty fast.
That's sick.
Yeah. I do love the like idiosyncrasies of like specific sports things. Like the fact that swimmers can do that, or like the taping job on like boxers, or like the specific like basketball players' fingers are all just gnarled because it's been dislocated so many times from like catching passes weird. I love that shit. Yeah.
A couple of my friends in football, like when a guy could throw the ball against the ground and have it bounce back up into his hand, like the guys who had good ball skills could do that. Yeah. And then it's a random sport, but I tried to get into horse riding for a while, and a lot of those dudes are missing fingers because when they catch the calf, like when they're roping, they catch the calf and then they go to tie the rope around the bullhorn of the saddle. Their fingers get stuck in there. And then when the calf yanks on it, it jacks their fingers off. Yeah. So like when you meet a bunch of those guys, you shake their hands and they're all missing like their two principal digits. And you're just like,
right,
oh, man, which kind of scares
you. They know, they all know,
but you know, he's for real.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, okay.
Like hockey dudes when their teeth back in the day, like,
yeah,
they just didn't give a fuck. They're like, I play hockey. You just don't have teeth.
Yeah. Yeah, you see them, they used to not play with helmets. And they just be
By the way, the
around.
goalie used to not have helmets before. It was like, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
Fucking insane.
Yeah, the difference in the pad size of the goalie too. He used to only take up like, 20% of the space. And now they're like, there's only like 6 inches of like open window to score in.
Yeah, what is the fucking deal? That's a good sport though.
I've never gotten as into it. Yeah.
What's that?
I've never gotten as into hockey, but I do respect it a lot. But it's just
it's so much fun.
You got to go to like a Kings game.
I've been to a couple, but yeah, I got to go to more. I think
live, it's the shit. On TV, yeah, it's a little hard. Even though that announcer's out of his mind, he's just like blah, 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 like calling the game like crazy. It's still kind of hard to be like, yeah. You just can't tell how fast they're moving, on TV.
Yeah, they're doing like 20. When did you move to LA?
03, end of 03.
Was that right after college?
Yeah, after summer school. I had to take like 2 classes to graduate. Or like they let me walk, and then I had to take 2 classes to like check some boxes. And then fucking packed up the minivan, drove out with like 2 bad screenplays and fucking dream.
Yeah. I bet you're able to use that discipline from swimming and apply it, because in LA it seems like so many people, they come out to like achieve something, but there's not a lot of follow through. But it seems like you guys really had a vision and pulled it out.
Yeah, I mean, obviously meeting the dudes was a game changer. But when I moved out, I didn't know shit. Like I didn't know anybody like in the business. I went on like Craigslist looking for jobs and shit. I actually worked retail at Lacoste on Rodeo Drive for a few months, which was sick.
Nice.
Solid
Yeah.
shirts.
Hella free gear. And then like was on Craigslist looking for jobs, and like I think I got my first internship off of something called entertainmentcareers.net.
Yeah.
I don't know if it exists anymore. I don't even know if it was like a legit thing at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing, I don't know if it was like discipline. I also coached some swimming out here too. But it was like I had all this fucking time now, you know, and I had all this fucking energy, and I had this void of like the thing that mattered in my life is gone. It's over. Like I'm not going to the fucking Olympics, and I needed something, and I filled that with writing movies and like writing and watching movies and like thinking about how to make them. And you earlier were like, oh, like who are your directorial influences? And somebody who like really changed the gears for me was Wes Anderson. Like I'd seen Bottle Rocket in theaters when I was young, but I was like, I don't know, it just seemed fucking cool. I remember watching the trailer and he's like, ain't no trip to Cleveland. I'm like, this guy seems rad. Went and saw it. But then when I saw Rushmore, which was way more stylized, I was like, why is this so different? Like why does this feel different than any other movie? And then you go, oh, like Wes Anderson, this dude. And like the auteur era came in, and like Paul Thomas Anderson, Tarantino kind of already doing his thing, but like you had that 90s era of like auteurs and
like Spike Jonze and like David Fincher and all those guys.
100%. And I was just like, oh, this dude was like 29 or some shit when he made Rushmore, 26 when he made Bottle Rocket. Like he was a young dude. So my whole thing when I got to LA was make something like a legit movie by 26.
Nice.
Yeah.
Which is like insane. And I didn't hit the mark, but I had some nibbles and like some gigs like by the time I was 26 that I was like, something's happening. And then met the dudes out here in like 05 or like late 04.
How'd you guys meet?
I met Adam at Second City, LA, which is like where nobody goes.
Yeah, was UCB and Groundlings already better at that point than Second City?
UCB didn't exist out in LA yet.
Right.
But Groundlings was like the show. Groundlings was where you went if you were like for real and serious, because Will Ferrell, Sherry O'Terry, like that era of SNL had just come from there. But I wasn't even gonna do acting, but I had some friends who were like, well, you're funny, why don't you go do Second City, which is like, we had that back in Chicago. And I was like, all right, yeah, I know what that is. I'll go try that out to like meet people in the business, because none of my friends were in the business. They were doing like fashion and shit. And then that's when I met Adam, and he was driving up from OCC, where he was going to
Orange Coast College.
That's right, dude. Go Pirates.
Dude, I went to Saddleback, rival junior college.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Ease up. And so Adam met Blake and Kyle, who grew up together at OCC. And then I was like, yo, I'm a writer. I'll write you some stuff. Adam was like, I do stand-up. I want to be an actor and a fucking movie star. And I'm like, you seem like you're going to be one. Let's start doing some stuff together. So I would write some stuff, and then we would try and go out and pitch it. And like, then we just started shooting sketches, and YouTube came out. I mean, this sounds like the fucking crazy shit now, but like we were doing this before YouTube. And then when YouTube came out, we were like, oh, we're not doing live shows really anymore. Let's just film it, put it up, email it to our friends, and then whoever the fuck else wants to watch it can watch it. And we didn't go viral, but like we were getting thousands of hits, you know?
Yeah, I love I've watched some of mail order comedy. Like I love the more dudes, the beer.
Oh yeah. Bring on
bring on the dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that stuff's it's so funny. You guys sort of created that or you sort of spearheaded that model of like put stuff out there, and that's sort of how you carve your spot in the industry or get a show, as
Yeah, I
opposed to the
mean,
old way.
we were like, we were doers, like you were saying, as far as like work ethic. I'd met some people who were like, yeah, I'm a writer. I got this idea. I just want to get it down on paper. And I'm like,
Yeah,
fuck off. That's not real.
yeah,
Or you have actors who are like, I don't want an agent. And you're like, okay, what the fuck are you talking about? And then people who I knew would just like party all the time constantly. And I'm at home like writing shit. And then they'd be like, dude, last night I was at XYZ director's house fucking doing shots with them. Like, I'm going to go pitch to him on Monday. And I'm like, you know, like, fuck, I don't have money to go out like this. Like, I can't be partying, but like this dude, he doesn't even have a screenplay yet. He hasn't written anything, but he's going to go pitch it to this real director. Like, am I fucking up? Should I be partying more?
yeah,
But like, me and the dudes would meet on like Tuesdays and pitch ideas. Thursdays we would, and then on the Tuesday we'd like pick the one we like. Thursdays we would like have a script that somebody wrote or I would write somebody's idea, and then they would go, well, not that, but this, and we would punch it up and make it into something like super dope for the time, dope enough, and then we would film it on the weekend, and we would just do that every fucking week.
yeah.
For years. Never went viral, you know, and we would see other groups go viral and be like, fuck, should we do something more topical? What do we do? You know, like our homies at Derek Comedy would crush it with like bro rape.
Yeah.
And you're just like,
I remember that. Yeah.
Fuck, they did it. But then Dom Durkees wrote on Workaholics later, and we'd always be like, we just wanted to be you, man. We just wanted to be you.
Yeah.
But that was fun. I mean, it was like those are like the fun lean years where like I was at one point when we were doing stuff, I was an assistant, like a production assistant in the writer's office of Real Time with Bill Maher. And on the weekend, I would have the dudes, I'd get them like drive-ons to come on the lot, and we would just jam in the like production trailer and like print stuff out, like eat snacks out of the refrigerator, like, and just get that like taste for, oh, we're like in a real trailer, like on a lot, like making shit up. And it was cool, dude. Like those dudes, as soon as I met Adam, I knew he was for real. Like he wanted this. And Blake and Kyle were the same way, and also brought like a cool, different energy. And when we were all together, even though like they are 3 years younger than me, like in school or whatever, and also just kind of vibe different than me, they were like, oh, but I like what you bring. And I was like, well, I love what you guys bring, and it works, you know?
Yeah. It seems almost like magical how sometimes a squad can form like that and have such great chemistry just naturally. You know, sometimes like with us, we need like, we have like Strider and Joe, and
Joe's right behind me in the kitchen.
Yeah, and even with like JT, I think we just gelled, you know. And then people are like, "You guys have great chemistry," and we're like, "Oh, cool!" Like,
where'd you guys
that's
meet?
awesome.
Doing a beer bong at a party when this dude couldn't, a 4-hose beer bong, and one guy couldn't do it because he was on antibiotics.
Yeah.
What are your hometowns?
I'm a San Juan Capistrano, and now my mom lives in San Clemente. Yeah.
Nice, dude. Coming from the Midwest and hearing these like names of places is just like magic.
Yeah.
San Juan Capistrano. It's like, like it's so like the idea of California. And my brother went to UCLA, but he's a fucking trailblazer. He's just a G. But like hearing about California from like Chicago, it was just like this other world. This was like before the internet was popping off and everybody wore fucking Vans across the world. You know what I mean? Like it was just an idea. And I remember a friend of mine came back from, I don't know where he was, but he was in California, and he came back with an In-N-Out t-shirt and was like, this is a place in California called In-N-Out, and they have the greatest fucking cheeseburgers you've ever had in your life.
Yeah.
And like the back of it was like the trees with like the 57 Chevy or whatever. And I was like, I'm never gonna have that cheeseburger. Like it's too far.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, dude, that's the saddest thing
California's
I've
just
ever
an idea.
heard.
And I've had it.
What do you think? Do you think some people say it's overrated when they come from out of state, but
I'll keep it real as fuck right now. I think it's a very good burger. But like Shake Shack?
Dude, don't do this. Don't do this, Saunders. No, dude.
Hard position.
No, dude.
Oh, dude.
And also Five Guys.
Dude, no, dude.
Nah, I can't let you slide on that one, dude.
Dude, our logo, we stole the In-N-Out logo. Aaron's coming in, our dog. He hates In-N-Out.
Aaron hates In-N-Out. He's on your team.
You know what I will say? When people say, how do you feel about the fries, Aaron?
No, dude, don't bring up the fries.
Don't ask that question, dude.
No, dude.
Wait, he's on
Aaron, we can't hear you.
We can't hear you, Aaron.
Sorry, absolute trash.
Oh, dude. Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Aaron, no.
Dude, you just
hate the fries. I
man.
enjoy the fries. The first time I had the fries, I was like, because they like crumble in your mouth a little bit, and I was like, what happened to the? But now I'm like, all right, they're cool.
If you get them well done, ask for them like well done.
Yeah.
A little
What's your
crisp?
But like, just like, I don't want to have to fucking do that.
Right.
How about you just make them the crisp way, and now nobody has to go, why are they falling apart in my mouth? What?
Right.
But this is, so what's your go-to, or does anybody have like a super specific burger order?
Yeah.
JT, you want to go first?
No, I mean, dude, I followed your path on this. You blazed the trail, so hit him with it.
Dude, I just forgot the name of them. What are they called?
Flying Dutchman, bro.
Oh, dude, my bad. I brain fart sometimes.
But look at him, dude. He's never even heard of it.
No.
Yeah, dude.
Is this where it's bun on bun?
No, not even that.
Or like
this
bottom bun to bottom bun?
No, think of it like this way. This is a grilled cheese, but the bread is 2 meat patties. So you have a meat patty with 2 slices of cheese in between, and that's it. And then you get some of that sauce on there, and that's a lean meal.
No bread,
is lean.
Because we're trying to stay lean. We're trying to look cut.
Wow.
You get it.
Do you got, and so, because I go like double.
Yeah.
Raw onions. I'm big on the onions. Chopped chilies.
Oh.
Wow.
No tomatoes. And then like the animal sauce or whatever. Like to me, that's animal style that's a on the day thing where I go.
How you feeling?
And make it animal style.
Nice, dude. Yeah.
But I like a burger that crunches when you bite into it with like the lettuce and the onions.
I think the thing about the In-N-Out burger too, it's the way it fits into your mouth. Like it like it's like form fitted to it's like a Tempur-Pedic burger for your mouth. It just slides in there kind of nice. And I think that's
I can't disagree.
Experience.
Can't disagree.
Oh, thank you, dude. I appreciate that. Yeah, we ride hard.
You're not wrong.
Thank you.
It's getting more competitive is all.
I hear you.
Competition is good, dude. I think those other burger joints, I mean, I don't see In-N-Out ever really, because part of what makes them so special is that they don't change what they do. It's like the Steelers with like the 3-4 defense or something like that. You know, like, this is just how we do it. But
did you guys get a pair of those shoes they dropped?
No. Oh, they're like Vans, right?
They look like Vans
shoes
with like the cup design on them.
Yeah, I gotta cop one of those.
I don't understand how like you guys weren't gifted those.
Yeah, we stole their logo for our podcast.
Homage. Yeah.
We paid homage.
Yeah. They should hook you guys the fuck up because the shoes are sick.
Dude, what was it like? Did you get to meet a lot of like luminaries on Bill Maher as a PA? Like, were you ever like getting coffee for like Salman Rushdie or something like that?
Yeah, for sure. Him. And then who else would come on? I mean, mostly like
Sean Penn. Did you ever have a good conversation? Like Sean Penn would go on there and get fired up, dude.
Yeah, you could never really talk with people unless they started in with you.
Right, of course.
Right? Like,
yeah.
I remember walking Alec Baldwin in and just fucking like zipped. And then he was like, do you talk? And I'm like, yeah, like, what's up? You know? and who the fuck else? I just remember seeing Ben Affleck and being like, pretty tall guy, tall. Okay.
6'4", yeah. I remember that episode where
Brad Pitt.
He
was
said George
on
Bush
the
was
show.
like a lion and we keep feeding him red meat. That was a good
Yeah.
take he had.
He's an interesting dude, I think.
Yeah.
I think he's at least got some good ideas in his brain. But yeah, it's funny to like, I was a fan of the show and I would just email their like production department over and over trying to get a job there. And I think after like a year, they were like, actually, we are hiring, come on by. And I went in and was like, please.
What a
and it was
testament to
rad.
persistence. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, like, I mean, you know, when you're like fucking scrapping and clawing and like, I had my wife, who was my girlfriend at the time, and she's like making way more money than me and was like, how long are we here? Why are we doing this? You know what I mean? And I'm like, just fucking please, just let's keep kicking it and we'll make it happen. But yeah, just by any means necessary.
And then you, did you ever smoke weed with Bill?
Not, I think I smoked weed with him years later when I was at a premiere of a Seth Rogen movie that he was in. And I was like, hey, and he was like, I interned for you or PA'd for you. And he was like, yes, of course. You're the one who got the show and stuff. And like, you know, he doesn't fucking remember me, but like knows that somebody went on to like do a show. And there was like a circle of people and he had to smoke weed with me. I made him. But no, on the show, like I was the cleanup crew. Like after the show was in the green room, everyone would party and have fun. As far as like the guests and whatnot and friends of the guests. And then like people would peace out.
Would all the Repubs get along with the Democrats after the show when they were partying?
Yeah, they would be kicking it. They'd be kicking it.
Oh, that's interesting.
I mean, I think there would always be like maybe somebody who got heated who was like, I'm not going to fucking talk to that person after the show. But like a lot of these pundits, like they're on shows all the time so much that like some of them they're cool with, I mean, they're fine. You know what I mean? They disagree, but they're like, what am I going to do? Like take this off the air too? Like and constantly be, I don't know.
Yeah. Did you meet Christopher Hitchens? I love that guy.
I mean, I was there when he was there. Yeah, he was the man. He's just fucking swagger.
Yeah, right.
Swagger.
He took it to Mos Def on that one episode.
I know. That was so tough because I'm like the biggest Mos Def.
I love Mos Def.
Black on Both Sides is like the greatest album of all time, maybe. And when he was like, Mr. Definitely, can I call you that? I was like, there's no coming back from this, especially when Mos Def's talking about like, he was kind of like in over his head. Like there was some of the stuff was conspiracy theory, but like, you know, you think you want to give him the benefit of the doubt. And then when he's like, how do you know these people like in Iraq are saying this? And he's like, I was there. I went there. I talked to people. I'm not like just some guy who talks about it. Like I'm a world traveler. I go there. My life's work is to understand these things and then come here and tell the story.
Yeah. He was like, how is it fair to have nuclear disarmament there? And he's like, because of the Treaty of 2004 in Kurdistan. And then you're like, oh, dude. It's like,
all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. For sure.
That was hard to watch, though. But Cornel West helped out Mos Def, so that was good.
I know. Yeah. I love him. He had something nice to say the other day. He's just always poignant. He's just always like,
guy.
And like, he's the man. It's 8:00. My family is cheering for all the essential workers because that's how we keep
awesome.
Hey, let's do it. We'll help out, dude. Let's go, baby. Let's go. I'm gonna open my door.
Woohoo!
Hey, let's keep it going, baby.
I love it. This is gonna be somebody's like 7 a.m. podcast listen. They're like, what's going on? Yeah, this isn't live, okay? How just for you.
How are you keeping your head on straight during like, I mean, now we've come through all this chaos with coronavirus and now all this civil unrest and societal anger?
I mean, like, look, as far as keeping my head on straight, like, I like that that's how you put it. Cause like my head is staying straight. Like I'm not confused about anything. Like everything going down. What's up, young man? I'm on a podcast, FaceTime. Let me talk to you later, okay? All right, later, dude. Will you close the door behind you? Okay. Yeah. Okay. We'll close the door. Thanks, guys. Still a dad. Like quarantine hit, and like me and my family were just like, all right, let's do what we do. We got to put on face masks. We got to stay in. You know, it's been fun. It's been a lot of like time with the kids, which has been oddly dope. You know, that's one of like the benefits is like I'm around my kids way more and teaching math, which is, you know, I feel bad for the kid, but like it's cool that we get to do that. I would have not done that as much. And then as far as all this stuff going down, like the biggest heartbreaker for me is finding out how many dumbasses love Workaholics and are fans of me and the dudes and don't understand the idea that Black Lives Matter and like how it doesn't take anything away from them to say Black Lives Matter and to think Black Lives Matter. You know, it's like if there's a fire in California, you don't need to go, there's hurricanes in Florida. It's like there's still fires in California. And if you can't like acknowledge what's going on for somebody that sucks, and like it's just a selfish thing that drives me crazy when people are like, what about me? My life's tough. It's like, I'm sure your life is tough. Their life is tough also for this very specific reason, and for you to acknowledge it would be huge, you know? And then, but they don't want to do that. It's tough, man. And I'm not somebody's fucking, I'm not going to go around teaching everybody, you know, but I was saying this earlier before we got on, like, I'm not going to tell anybody to unfollow me because then the discourse is over. Like, they don't know what I'm about. But if you stay following me, you can unfollow me, by the way, go for it. But if you stay following me, you'll see what I'm about. And if you think you want to party with me and like be my friend, then this is how you need to think. This is how you need to behave, you know?
Right.
That's it, man. It is fucking crazy.
Yeah. Just, I don't know, people who will send me stuff about how the rioters are out of control, but never send me anything about when there's these abuses happening against Black people. It just feels like they're just not seeing both sides. But I don't know. Yeah. It's a bummer.
It's wild, man. And, you know, I'm teaching my kids all about this. I mean, he's 6, and like, it's never too early to be like, this is what's happening out there. And then, you know, and be like, what? That's crazy. Like, why is that? That's so unfair. Like, and you go, exactly, you know. And my wife works in like human rights for an NGO. So she's on the line every day.
Oh, wow. Yeah. What does she do exactly?
She works for CARE.
Cool.
It's a huge humanitarian organization, mostly international, but they're starting to build things here in the U.S. now. And yeah, she's been there for a few years, but she's always done this kind of work, mostly with like women's rights and that kind of thing. And now just more broadly with care packages comes from this place. Back in the day, they sent care packages during World War II. I don't know. But yeah, now they're just like a global superpower of help.
Nice. That's awesome.
It's great. Yeah, she's awesome.
You know what's fun too is like, I think when I grew up, I kind of hated it when artists talked about politics. I'd always be like, can't you just stick to your art? But then now that I'm kind of in that walk of life, I'm like, you do feel a responsibility to speak on it. Like,
yeah, I mean, look, I'm a fucking idiot. Like, I'm not a smart dude. I never was. I like some concepts just never understood in school, all this stuff. Like when I'm putting together like the one tweet I was going to send out, I'm like, does this even fucking make sense? Am I the guy that should be articulating this to like other dumb people like me who I think are on the wrong side of this discussion? Or like, are they just gonna eat me for breakfast and be like, hey, dumbass, da 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 da, like, and then I'm not helping anybody. But the thing I come to terms with is like, I'm gonna say what I would say if I wasn't in this position or not.
Right.
Which is just how I feel. And there are more articulate, smart people that make better statements than me that are famous. And my friends from back home who just blast off this tweet about like, and you're like, whoa, dude, can I like copy and paste that shit?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but I'm not George Clooney. And thank God we have somebody like a George Clooney or, you know, whoever else who like really understands the scope of things like this. You know, I'm not that guy, but I know wrong and I see it.
I had a question about Workaholics with the writing. Did you guys have like, do you guys have a list of like things from your party lives or that happened in like college and stuff that you're like, we got to put this in the show, like Poop Dollar and stuff like that?
So like, yeah, Poop Dollar was one thing that Adam's friends did in high school. The Chop was something that happened at my high school. And yeah, there were just like, I mean, as you guys can hear, I don't shut up, but like in a writer's room, I love like talking and getting people to talk about like their high school experience or like whatever, like dating experience, dating life. Tell me about your bad date. Tell me about your best date. Like, where can we mine stuff from your life that's super specific and then put it in an episode and then kind of window dress it to like fit in or maybe amp it up a little bit to make it more exciting, but grounded in the reality that you lived, you know? And yeah, people would always kind of bring their stories from back home. But there wasn't like a set board of, we did this, but you would hear great stories of like worst mistakes. One of our writers was like, when we were, I think he was probably 15, he goes, we got a paintball gun and we went to an overpass and just started shooting at cars. And like, it was funny. And then like the police came with like guns drawn and they fucking booked it and he slept in the sewer for the night.
Oh shit.
You know? And then like, I think maybe that's where we got the Ninja Turtles episode where we were like bolting and we were like, there's nowhere to go. We got to get into the, lift up the manhole cover and climb into the fucking sewer. And then we were like, all right, so we're in the sewer like a bunch of fucking Ninja Turtles. All right, well, if who's what Ninja Turtle, right? Obviously, when you're that, you start having that breakdown. And in the writer's room, people are like, well, you're Donatello. And I'm like, I'm Leonardo. And they're like, so that's like your D story for the episode.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully things were organically built. Sometimes they weren't. Sometimes somebody would come in with a dope idea that was just like, yo, you left a voicemail that you shouldn't have left on Alice's machine. You're super hungover and you need to get to the office to delete it before she hears it, but you're super hungover. So you need to drink in order not to pass out and get there to delete it, you know? And like, obviously that's not nobody did that in real life, but like as a device for an episode, it fucking turned out to be a real heat rocket.
Well, and you guys had that, I think it was, I say famous. It was like a famous list of like, I think going into like season 5 or 6, where it was like a list of like the things that you guys wouldn't talk about because they were hack at that point.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like.
Did you think that got too much attention?
Well, look, I'll say this. I didn't leak it, or it wasn't leaked. One of our writers was like, check this out. And that's fine, but like, you know, don't. That's ours.
Do you feel like snobby did you feel like that was like snobby that got out there, like, or something?
Sure. I mean, if you want to make those fucking bad, hacky ass jokes that were solid gold the first time they were said, you know, like I just threw up in my mouth a little bit. The first time I heard that, I was like, that's the funniest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
4 years later, when you're hearing like ants say it or like fucking whoever, you're like,
Right.
that's not your joke. And when you have comedy writers who are paid professionals, who, in my opinion, your job is come up with the new fucking joke. Come up with the new throw up in the mouth a little bit. Don't just say nailed it. That's a fucking commercial, you know? And weirdly, a lot of commercials just hijack shit from people and then they just say it in a commercial and it's like a huge thing. But like,
so you were kind of combating laziness.
Yeah, my whole thing was like, let's not say these. If there was something we heard that was super common, don't put it in there. I got a whole thing going with my buddy, one of the writers now, where we just text each other when we come across one. Like one recently is cool. Don't do it. It's over.
Oh, I say that.
I know, but like we all do.
Cool.
Don't write it down and get paid.
Oh, right. No, I wouldn't.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
Right.
Right. Or like,
I said,
really? You know, like really's done. What's one that I said the other day here?
I know what you mean though. When things like that just start getting like passed around and people are like passing it off as witty when they say it, and you're like, you're not being witty. Like you're just aping things you've heard that have been like programmed into your head, and you're taking in the cadence of wit, but that doesn't make it witty. No. And you want to like scream at the world when stuff like that happens. You're like, no, this can't be what people think is funny.
And look, you can everyone can write whatever the fuck they want to write. This was our show, and like when I would read a draft from a writer that had some shit, I'd be like, can you beat that? Because that's not even yours, right? Or if someone would say something, I would go, is that yours? Like if someone lit me up with something, I go, did you make that up? Is that yours? Like somebody had they're like, oh, and then he like AC Slater's the toilet, right? Like sitting on the toilet backwards.
Oh, that's funny.
I was like, is that yours? And they were like, no, I heard that before. And I was like, that's fucking good.
Right.
I wish that was yours.
You were disappointed.
Yeah.
Like one the other day I sent to my buddy was, I think we're saying the same thing, which is like, it's in a lot of stuff now where like people are arguing and they're like, I think we're saying the same thing when they're like really not, you know, like we got to get down there now. I know I got a burrito I'm saying we need to go now. I think we're saying the same thing. Like,
right.
It drives me fucking crazy.
Yeah. Is it when you're like, so is it weird for you when you run into fans and they think you're the character?
Well, I mean, I didn't do myself any favors by keeping my name, you know, and like Durs, that was my like nickname growing up and stuff. And, you know,
do they always just want to get wasted with you basically?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, like just doing shots. And then like at a certain point you're like, I can't do it, man. Like, I know you just walked in here and you want to do a shot. I can't. And then he's like, fuck you. Like, you're too good. And you're like,
yeah,
I know that like our experience just started for you right now, but like, I'm here I can't make everybody happy. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not trying to shit on like getting free shots is awesome.
Right? Yeah. And when
but,
you do the shot, I'm sure they're like, it's got to make their day, right? Yeah.
I mean, my biggest nightmare is getting iced. That was something that happened like post my college years. And like, I'm not into it. Like, so by the way, I can't wait for this to come out and everyone will be like, I guess we're icing Durs when we see him. Like having one in their car in case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I could never join a frat. The drinking that they put you through, I'm too specific in how I drink. I never could have endured like the forced drinking that was kind of like the norm. It would have killed me.
Yeah, I think I can drink a lot. I can't drink fast though. Like I can't, like if I do a shot, it goes into my mouth and then slowly goes down my throat, which is the worst way to drink.
Yeah.
I can't slam a beer. Like my gag reflex, I don't know what it is, the carbonation, I just can't swallow it. And I just don't like the taste of alcohol. I like fucking milkshakes from In-N-Out.
That's what's up.
Did you ever feel sort of like insecure going to like a bar, being like, people think I'm this huge party guy, but I can't party as hard as they think I can? Like, did you ever have that kind of
Yeah, I mean,
fear,
like,
I guess?
yeah, but I'm
a
gonna
fire
sound like
question.
a douchebag, but there's also like the part of you that wants to like fulfill their idea.
Mm-hmm.
So they go, dude, I saw him. We did a shot. It was exactly what I hoped it'd be. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Yeah, I guess it's like, do you worry that you can't how the better to like make that dream come true for them? Does that make sense?
yeah, I mean, now I'm super fucking old. You
Yeah.
know, like back in the day, it was go time.
Yeah.
It was fun. Like me and the guys would go on these like fucking tours. We'd go to Comic-Con and like, it was great, you know, but we had each other. And like, in addition to that, we had our manager who'd be like, the guys are fucking done. Like, we'd be like, Isaac, I'm going to fucking throw up in this bar if you don't get over there and like tell them like we're too big time. Because we can't be like, we're too big time. So you go do it for us.
Right.
Or like the saving grace is a bartender who knows what's going on and is like, just order shots of Jaeger and we'll bring you guys Coke and then we'll give them Jaeger.
Wow.
Nice.
What a legend.
Thank you.
That's cool.
And I can't wait for everyone to be like, you bitch. But guess what? I would have died. I'm not dying for you guys. But yeah, if you can like parlay that with like a cool bartender, it's a game changer. Like a server to like bring it over and go, so this is yours, and yours, and then this is this dude, that dude, that dude's, and you go like, hey, hopefully we all die tonight. Coke.
Yeah.
Yeah. It gets
That's
rough.
great.
I don't know. I'm sure you guys deal with it constantly. You're in the fucking eye of the hurricane right now. Or I guess that's the calm part.
Well, we're the party bros, so
yeah.
You know, it's that was we were branded that by other people, but
it is funny.
Well, you're not even brothers.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
Dude.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out how we can make that happen, but it's like science is limited.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there someday.
Yeah, what's the main?
Funny. Like,
what's the thing you guys hate the most, or at least what's the thing that comes your way the most that you're like, fuck, okay, all right. Like Jameson shots?
No, it's probably when people come up to me and like say, this sounds so like virtuous on my part, but like when people come up to me and they say like kind of nasty things and think I'll enjoy it because I'm a party bro. Like they'll come up to me and they'll be like, would you like, I don't even know this, dude. He'll come up to me like, would you rather fuck a chick's tits or her ass? And I'm like, bro, I'm like, I just met you, dude. I'm like, is this the kind of energy you're bringing to like strangers? I'm like, you gotta like, I'm like, and you know, you don't know what to say because you don't want to be like, hey dude, chill. So you're just like, no, I'm good, dude.
Well, the weird thing is like, and like Adam's really good at this, like the jujitsu of taking their energy and moving it. You know what I mean? Or like, I guess that's judo. Like you like, they come in, they're like, kicks titties or ass, and you just go, neither, dude, chill, that's crazy. You know, or you meet the energy and you go, that's the craziest question I've ever heard, you know, and then they go, he didn't answer it, but like he's yelling back at me, so something's working. And
that's so smart. Yeah,
they had their experience, and then judo to the side.
I think Adam did that on me once. I met Adam one time.
You're like, did I get judo? At
the Improv. And I was like super nervous because we have a show there. And I was talking to my buddy Naz. I was like, dude, I'm going to go ask him to be in the show. So I was like, hey, Adam, what's up? And he's like, oh, hey, you look like David Spade. I'm like, oh, thanks.
He beat you to it. He already did it.
That's like all he said.
What a genius.
Yeah.
Short-circuited that conversation.
Yeah, but then he was really nice. I was like, "Do you want to be on our show?" And he's like, I can't on this date, but in the future for sure." And I was like, "Thank you."
Yeah, you should have been like, I am David Spade. Do my show.
Yeah, I'm his son, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a whole thing that nobody that like you sound like a dick for talking about, but like in this era of like Instagramming and all that shit and like being beholden to everyone, like people didn't used to see you or be able to go, actually, let me take your picture for a second. Actually, let me get a different one. Actually, my homie is here. Like, say this into the voicemail. You should just be like, what's up? Can I get your autograph? I don't have a pen. Bye. Right?
Yeah.
And
Right.
just like do your thing. And like, I'm grateful to all the fans. Like, they're awesome.
Yeah, I was about to say that too. It's cool. The best part is when someone is like cooler than you. When you meet someone and you're like, whoa, you're a fan, and you're like awesome. Yeah, I'm grateful to know you. Like, I get to have cooler friends because you liked like a video I made. That's like that's pretty chill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like me and my dad watch your stuff together, and you're like, yes, we're bonding you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If someone writes you and they're like, yo, dude, hey, I know you guys like make comedy, but like I want you to know like there's a message underneath it that got to me. I'll cry for 20 minutes in my car and just like, I'm doing it, man. I'm doing it.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the best.
And I was gonna say, I feel like we haven't gotten to the point where it's like we're like bombarded to it's like where it's like because when we have shows and stuff, or they're always like the nicest bros, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, like if they come up and ask me too many shots, dude, I love tequila, but if it's like a bunch of whiskey shots, I can't handle it.
Get that hot mouth.
I look soft. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey. You're just a guy. You're just one guy,
though, dude.
Yeah.
There's power in being soft, bro.
I know. I put too much pressure on myself.
It is nice though when you're with your friends and you're like, if they're like, we do shots, like if you get shots for me and my friends, I'll do one. Like that's great.
Yeah.
You know, you can like pick up the tab in that kind of way.
Yeah.
That's always fucking nice. Spread the wealth.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dude, can you help us answer some questions from some listeners before you?
Yeah. What do you mean? Is it like? It's not like geography questions. It's like
life advice.
It's like life advice.
So it's not like a quiz where it's like, who's the first dude on the moon?
No, but you know that one.
I mean, you guys think they were really on the fucking moon? Come on,
dude. Real. All right, this is an interesting one that I actually picked up anecdotally, but someone told me, and they wanted to get our take on whether this was right or wrong, is that at a fraternity at UC Berkeley, there's a long-held tradition where they take all the pledging freshmen, put them into a room with a goat, and say that until one of them fucks the goat, they're not allowed to leave. Typically, there's about 12 to 15 guys. After about a day or two, they only have water and maybe pretzels. One of the guys will inevitably fuck the goat to get all the guys out of the room. And then what the frat does is they accept all the other brothers and they kick out the guy who fucked the goat because no one wants to have a goat fucker in the frat. What's your opinion on that?
First of all, that's real.
I think it's real. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know though. It could just be apocryphal, but that's what got passed.
So let's say it's real. Okay.
Yes.
Who are these guys? Why do you want to be friends with these guys? Go right next door to the place where nobody's fucking a goat and pledge there.
Yeah, that's where they make you fuck a sheep, though.
Well, that's not as bad, is it? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, but what's the exact question about?
I guess they were just trying to gauge the morality of the situation and decide, because I think what they were frustrated with was that they thought the frat was wrong. They thought the frat should accept a guy who had sex with the goat because he didn't do it out of sexual desire. He did it out of, honoring the group and trying to get them through a tough time.
I will jump on the grenade. Right?
He's biting a bullet. Yeah. Like he's kind of a hero from everyone's perspective, but the goats.
Right. Well,
or we don't know. We don't know.
The
bioethicist Peter Singer says it's okay to have sex with animals if it's mutually pleasurable.
Yeah, I don't know how that works. I mean, I guess if you are
He's a
laying
doctor.
there and they begin it,
That's a good
if
call.
they initiate, is it wrong? If they initiate, I don't know.
That's a good
I don't
call.
know.
Yeah,
I really
I-
don't know. I do not know.
I've had that thought with dolphins sometimes when I'm out surfing because I've heard they fuck humans, you know.
Yeah.
According to Chris D'Elia's special.
Yeah.
But I saw some dolphins the other day, and I was like, you know, it'd be a cool story. They just
Right.
came up and, you know, had their way.
Get in where they fit in.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
that was my honest thought. I just thought I'd share it.
There's a good YouTube video that we watched about that guy who's in love with a dolphin, and he had a sexual relationship with dolphins for like months, and it's pretty eerie because he goes into such specificity about his sexual relationship, but he feels very confident in his relationship, so it's compelling to watch at minimum.
I mean, they have sex for pleasure. I think it's us and them. I don't know if the other animals. I think it's dolphins and humans.
And my dog Taz.
Okay. Well, shit. With a name like Taz.
Yeah, he's a beast, bro. All right. So do we think that we're saying the frat should just do away with the entire ritual of the goat?
I mean, aren't we exploding traditions everywhere? I think this one can go. Like,
Yeah.
don't you guys want to be the like North Star fraternity that like is changing what frats look like? Or
Yeah.
not? Like, don't
Yeah.
you guys want to be the ones that are like, you know what? We're changing, we're done with all this shit. We're gonna lead the way and not just be dudes who do this shit. And then we're like, but we built a fucking house. Like Habitat for Humanity style. And it's like, that doesn't matter if you're still doing this shit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's how I sort of handled the pledge interviews in my fraternity. Is I was like, let's have like a weird, awesome time. You know what I mean? And just build on that, as opposed to where you have this tradition of like this, like one guy tortures this guy, and then it's just like it just goes down the ladder, and it's like, yeah, it's not a good way to build trust, I guess, you know.
Well, the bottom line is you're trying to make someone else feel bad,
Right.
so that you feel better. Not that you feel better, but you don't feel bad, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
like you're here, as opposed to like making someone feel better so they appreciate you, which will make you feel better.
Yeah.
But I guess that's not the language.
No,
Yeah.
Honors, you just nailed it though, man. That's the key. That's the trick. Yeah. That's the better way to live. So next time this guy bones the goat, be like, hey man, sorry I put you through that. We're actually going to do away with that ritual. You're going to be the last guy who did it, and you're now president of the frat.
Also, everybody fuck the goat.
Yep.
Dude, yeah.
What are they going to do? Kick us all out? Then
Yeah. Yeah, that unity would be strong.
That poor goat, dude.
Yeah, or that happy goat.
No, it's not a poor goat. Everyone just takes off their pants and you got to wait. The goat comes to you.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah.
Good call,
goat
dude.
like twerks over to everybody, and then as soon as you fuck the goat for just one stroke, you pull out. You're done, and then you don't give it to the goat, but the goat will be like, "Man, I just had some of that human dick. I got to get more."
That goat walks out of that frat like shuffling, like feeling good. Like, oh man. All right, this comes from Jeremy. Hey, what's up, guys? Stoke legends, Stoke lords. Thank you for all the stoke you provide. I'm getting into weightlifting, and I want to know, how many sets do you guys think I have to do for an individual muscle group for it to be considered a good workout?
Here's what you do, dude. You buy the book American Psycho. You read that book, and then you look for the parts where he just talks about Patrick Bateman's workouts, and you just pull out those excerpts and you do that many reps. Because it goes deep into all of his workouts and how many reps. I want to say that he does like 20 reps of stuff. High rep count. High
rep, more for def rather than mass.
Yeah.
Do you still fuck with Brady Snellis? Do you listen to his podcast?
I do. I listen. I subscribe now.
I do too, but I can't figure out how to listen to it. The Patreon doesn't make any sense to me.
You got to get the app. I know the app is insane. But like, I'll let it stock up, and then I'll like blaze through some stuff. I think that he's interesting, and says all sorts of shit that I'm like, what are you talking about? And then 10 minutes later, he'll say something and I'm like, I love what he's talking about.
He has his obsessions, which sometimes I think derail him too often, but he's definitely a real clear thinker.
I like listening to somebody who I disagree with sometimes. It's fine. I like hearing a singular voice. Like I said, I worked on Bill Maher. Do I think Bill is right 100% of the time? No. And I don't want to tune into anybody who, you know, has a team of writers writing every sentence he says. So it's like fact checked by like this group think. I'm like, Bill just says some shit sometimes that you're like, what are you talking about? And then other times you're like, thank God he's saying it. You know, and I think that Brett's the same way. He's interesting enough to me that I forgive all the dumb shit that he says too. And I hope people can do that for me.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm a high reps guy. I'm not a low reps guy. More importantly, range of motion. Don't be one of these guys. Right? The short shit? No. Out and deep, all the way in. Tear the muscles, let them recover.
Do you do a slow on the way down to really, you know, tear it up?
I'll do shit till fail, right?
Oh, okay.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
Ray Lewis style. Ray Lewis says he does every set to failure.
Well, that's how you build. You know, that's how you know what you're doing. I still have shit workouts from like 2002 from swimming, like weight room workouts. And I'm like, I'm gonna try that again. I just like scale back all the weights and shit.
Yeah. Would you do mat work, like a practice where it's just like ab work on the mats?
Yeah. I'll do like Russian twists.
Yeah.
You know, with the med ball.
The kicks.
Yeah, I do. I mean, what's crazy is for those kicks is like, because we did so many of them when I was swimming, it's like muscle memory. I can just go forever doing those. So like, I like pike ups, you know, where you go out, toe touch. The fucking GHD thing where you're like off the back of it, you know what I'm talking about? Like a big CrossFit sit up like contraption where you like go backwards.
Right. Yeah.
Those are fucking brutal.
Yeah.
Shit, all you need is the assault bike, dude. I mean, you know.
I love the assault bike. I'm a masochist, so I just love to torture myself.
Fuck.
Dude, I think 3 to 5 sets of 4 different exercises, 8 to 12 reps or whatever. But I do lower reps sometimes. I just think the important thing is to get it in. But yeah, if you're doing that, I think you're annihilating your muscle group. Dude, I think CrossFit too, I think they're the tip of the spear for humanity. I've been watching all their docs that are on Hulu and Netflix during this quarantine, and I'm blown away by the kind of quality of person they got. Matt Fraser.
He rocks. I watch the games every year. It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. And they're such good people.
I watch sports as someone who was like an athlete. I mean, I swam, so I know people can't like relate to it or whatever. But I worked with people. I swam with people who worked at a very high level, right? These are like, I swam with like Olympians who put me to fucking shame when I got to the D1 level by like their pain tolerance, by their like work ethic, by their mental like sometimes like insanity, where they're just like the most competitive people you've ever met. And when they lose, it's a fucking nightmare to be around them. And then they will be like, one more, let's go one more, let's do another one. And you're like, sure. And then they win, they're like, fine, got you. And you're like, all right. But like,
you're off the hook. You're like, thank God I lost.
Right, exactly. You're like, I'm done. But these CrossFit people, they do things that are just unfucking believable as far as like the weight that they're tossing around and how many reps they're doing for how long, and then jumping onto something else and working like whatever the other muscle group is. Like, it's crazy. I can't wait till it gets more widespread and you have dudes who made it like in the NFL for 3 seasons who are like, I'm still an athlete. I feel like I could do that, you know?
Yeah.
because our best athletes go to the highest paying sports generally.
Mhm.
Yeah. I always think about that with every World Cup. I'm like, what if we had Reggie Bush, Dwayne Wade, and LeBron James like on our soccer team? Like, what would that look like?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't.
No.
I thought we would. I said something like 12 years ago. I think I said that in 2024. Is that when the next World Cup is?
Yeah,
I don't know.
hopefully.
But I said then,
Or
right,
2022.
hopefully. I was like, we will be in the finals by 2024 for the World Cup. Because at that point, like, concussions were huge. People were getting pulled out of football, like, by the droves. And I'm like, they're going to get thrown into soccer.
Mm.
I don't think it happened.
Yeah, I think once we start seeing it in the street, the way you see it in other countries where kids just have soccer balls on their feet and they're like walking to school with it,
Right.
like we have to get to that point where it's like integrated into just our day to day. Because
Yeah.
right now we've got our athletes are good. They're like physically fit compared to other countries, but we just don't have the touch.
We have everything in the world to make you the best, right? Like, we have the facilities and like the equipment and the science and all that, like dietary shit, to make anybody the best. But we just don't give a fuck about soccer. Which, by the way, the fact that we have something called football that's not football is crazy.
It's hilarious.
It's insane.
But it's funny. Yeah, I do kind of like it. I do like
It's
it.
like,
Yeah.
it's such like us. It's just
It's
like,
so
no, actually, this
brazen.
is football,
Yeah.
dude.
It's like, no, you guys have your football, but we've decided against the rest of the world's consensus that we have our own version of football, and it's fucking badass, dude.
Yeah, and they'll kick the shit out of your football players.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It is funny. People are like, football, and you're like, what? Oh, you mean soccer?
Yeah.
And you feel like shitty for saying it.
yeah.
Like, sorry, soccer. Oh, you're talking about soccer. I mean football. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, football. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we got two more questions. Hey guys, I faced a little bit of aggression in the lineup. I was wondering if you guys have ever had to deal with this kind of stuff and how you handle it. The story goes like this: it was about 7:00 Eastern time on a Friday. I checked the swell report and it says tomorrow morning 3 to 5. Now I don't live in SoCal, so 3 to 5 is relatively gangster. I go to bed that night with dreams of legit lefts and ravaging rights. Wake up the next morning feeling like $1 million. Hop in the truck and me and the dad drive 10 miles away to the local break. Surf looks pretty dank. I paddle out on the fish, ready to tear it up. It's pretty crowded like usual. I go to catch my first wave, and a fat guy on a massive longboard drops in on me. This dude did it to me 2 more times. He was actually a pretty good surfer too. Francesco and the boys took care of him in the PL later, but kind of a bummer. Should I have spoken up in this situation or just remain zen? P.S. Do you guys intentionally follow me on TikTok, or was that an accident? I'm also looking for a job this summer. Is there anything I could do for you? I don't need to be paid. Just experience would be awesome. Sent from Samsung Smart Fridge 3.
You got to get one of those smart fridges first and foremost.
Right.
That sounds cool. He sent it from his smart fridge.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the shit.
That's awesome. Was he saying that they beat up the guy who was dropping out?
Do you know what the PL is? I'm not familiar with that lingo.
Parking lot?
Oh, good call, dude.
I mean, that's where shit goes down, no?
Bro,
Right?
you're a genius, dude. I was thinking about PL. I was like,
I just love that he's like a
later?
big guy, and then his homies like just whooped his ass, and he's like, "Do you have any advice for me?" It's like, aren't you fine? Didn't your friends beat him up?
Yeah. Yeah, dude. I would say stay zen, dude. I mean, you know, I believe in karma. So someone's dropping on you, that sucks. But you know what? Someone's gonna start dropping on him soon. So yeah, just maintain your etiquette out in the lineup, and all will be well.
and dude, you know, when you're new to a beach, it's always a precarious thing. You know, there's people who are there who feel very confident on the waves, and you kind of have to work around them. In my limited experience, but I think the thing is this: if you can become the best surfer at that break, no one will drop in on you. So I think it's always what can you control, and that's how good you get. So just get better, and then no one will be dropping in on you. And if they do, everybody will give them the hairy eyeball.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. All right, last question. What up, boys? This is mainly for Strider. Strider's our buddy who comes on a lot. He's the relationship guru. He has a beautiful relation, and we always look to him for advice on how we can cultivate that in our own lives. But if he's not on, Chad and JT, I'm sure you boys got something cooking in the dome, so feel free to hop in here. I've been dating my girlfriend for over a year, and I truly love her. Issue is we both leave for college next year, and I don't know how to handle it. I can't imagine myself breaking up with her, but at the same time, I don't see it working out at all if I can't see her. We would be a plane ride away, so visits would be rare. She wants to stay together 100%, and if we do just stay together, I feel like I would miss out on a lot of college experiences with girls and shit. I don't know what to do, my guys. Also, have any of you guys had girlfriends in other schools in college, and how did that go? Thanks, boys. Keep stoking. Please keep me anonymous.
So he has a girlfriend in another school?
He has a girlfriend, I think, in high school, and now they're going to separate colleges, and it seems like he's pretty keen to experience the full college single life, but she really wants to stay together.
Gotcha.
And he's not feeling like they'll be able to visit much because their colleges are super far apart.
Gotcha.
I mean, I think he's looking for us to give him the green light, but that's what I'm seeing so far. What do you guys think?
Yeah, Anders, how do you feel?
Yeah. So my wife and I were together in college, and she went abroad for a year, and we were like, I was like, look, you're going abroad for a year. I'm going to be here. Do we want to like have that phone call one time where it's like, oh, like in like 4 months when she's with somebody or I'm with somebody, and then it's like fucking weird? Or do we want to just say, let's put a pin in things, and when you come back, we'll pick up where we left off, unless we don't, right? And then like it wasn't meant to be. And she came back, picked up where we left off, got married. The rest is history. So like, if your girlfriend, who from high school, which is my wife, is my girlfriend from high school, if she's the one, you'll make your way back to her, or she'll make her way back to you. Yeah, I mean, like you'll get out there and you'll meet somebody who's fucking whack as fuck. And you'll go, what is going on? Like, or maybe you aren't gonna be good at being single, you know? Or maybe she'll meet somebody who fulfills her more than you do, and that'll be a tough break, but eventually that wouldn't have worked out anyway. You know, so I give it the old college try. And then if it's right, you'll get back together the next summer and go, what were we thinking? Get your fucking clothes off. I love you. You know?
That's nice.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's
do you
great.
think you're a good looking dude, you know? Did you feel less like did you feel more confident that you were making the right choice and staying with someone that you had known from so early in your life because you knew you had opportunities? So it wasn't like you were like always wondering what if. It was kind of like you were like, no, I know there's other stuff out there, but I'm confident in this choice. I sometimes wonder if, because my friends who have had the relationships from the longest tend to be good looking guys who had success with that stuff early on and then kind of saw the writing on the wall and were like, no, I know a good thing when I feel it, so I'm just going to stick with it.
No, I wouldn't say like I'm like, I definitely didn't have like, I was not like fucking Mr. Player cool dude. But like I'd been dating my girlfriend wife in high school, and then we went to college. I went to college. I'm a year older than her, so I went. We stayed together, and didn't really work. And then she came to the same school coincidentally, and we just got together. And then we took a year off, and then it was, you know, one of those years. And then afterwards, we were like, I didn't meet anybody who was fucking great. You know what I mean? And I think that, yeah, there's those guys who like, they get hit on like girls get hit on, right? Because they're just like so handsome or like have swag or whatever. So they know like, she was just fucking chill about it, man. So like, I pulled the trigger. She wasn't like a fan. Like guys that are that handsome, they have like a fan meter where they're like, when girls come at them like fans, they're like, this is weird. But the way a girl can be chill about it, I think they go, all right, she's normal. Because they've seen crazy. I've never seen crazy, you know. But then as far as like staying together, that you just got to be ready to do the work. It's a whole nother like thing. You know what I mean? I mean, you got cell phones and shit now, and like FaceTime and all that. But that'll be some work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I wanted to ask you this earlier. When you're like when you play the kind of like love interest in a movie or something like that, like is it tough to play the part that you played in like The Intern, where you're kind of like an unlikable dude? Or like do you know when you see it, you're like, when you read the script, you're like, oh, this guy's kind of like did that read as like a guy, because he's not an admirable dude, right?
Right, yeah.
And did
so
that attract you to the part, or what are you thinking?
I read the script and was like, oh, okay, I'm this guy. And then they were like, yeah, and Robert De Niro's this person and Anne Hathaway's this person. I was like, yeah, great, let's go.
Right.
You know, I mean, I auditioned with Anne, and like got the part, but like I don't give a fuck like what the deal is. I don't care if I'm like the peeping Tom neighbor. I'm doing that movie, right? And like Nancy Meyers, like fucking solid. But after that, there were a couple movies that were like, oh, like you're this guy, and I passed because I was like, I just did that. Like, you know, I kind of want to be somebody that's not that scumbag, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in one of those movies, they completely changed the character, so he didn't cheat on his girlfriend, and the movie was fucking awesome. And I was like,
Oh man.
I could have just said, yeah, done the movie, or like attached myself to the movie, and then they would have been like, well, maybe it's not right that he does that. Let's change it, and then I would have been in the movie. So that's the whole fucking like,
yeah.
You know. But yeah, as far as that movie, I was like, sign me up.
And then you said you liked PTA a lot, and then I saw you were in Inherent Vice. Did you?
A little bit. I was in Inherent Vice. This is weird. This is the weirdest thing in the world. Paul Thomas Anderson watches Workaholics.
Really?
And
That's awesome.
like we had heard about this from our agent. Like he was at the same agency as us, and he was like, you want to hear something crazy? I'm like, what, dude? And he's like, Paul Thomas Anderson watches Workaholics. And I'm like, how do you know this? He's like, oh, we fucking talk about it. I'm like, this is crazy. So I auditioned for The Master and didn't get it because I'm
For
like not
Jesse Plemons' part?
I don't know what it was. I can't remember. I think it was like he wrote a thing and you just had to do the thing. And then he goes, all right, this is what you can do.
And it wasn't even in the movie. He wrote like a brand new thing just to test people on it?
I think so. I could be wrong. Maybe it was like one of the like Scientology style tests and I was like testing somebody. But then I did another scene that wasn't that. I don't know. But I didn't get it. But Jillian was in that movie. And then he brought me back for Inherent Vice. Or he didn't, you know, the casting people did.
Mm-hmm.
And I read for this cop, and they're like, okay, cool. There's gonna be 2 cops. He's gonna say the lines, and you're just gonna be there. And I was like, great, cool. Like, I don't fucking care. And I went straight from Workaholics to Pasadena. It was a night shoot. We pulled over like the car that had Joaquin and Martin Short. So like that box is checked. And did like a thing. And the other actor, this dude Wilson, Bethel, I think is his name. He's an actor. He's on Rise Up or All Rise right now. And he said the lines, killed it, seemed like a cop. And I was just like with the flashlight, and you can see my torso through the windshield, and that is it. But whatever, it was one night shoot. And then at the end, the AD was like, hey, Paul's gonna come over and say hi, because he had been at like Video Village the entire night. Like, didn't see him. And he was like, what's up, man? Thanks so much for doing this. I'm like, yo, like fucking, this is awesome.
Yeah.
He's like, you wanna have a drink? And he just whooped out like a whiskey, and I'm like, sure. Drank like, and it's 6 a.m. at this point because we shot all night. He's like, so like, what are you up to? And like, we just bullshitted for like a minute. I'm asking all like the dumbest questions, like, how long you guys 2 weeks into filming, huh? You know, just like,
yeah.
You know, and like, what are we gonna do? Like, find out we have the same favorite XYZ? I don't know.
Yeah.
And then I was like, peace, and I went from there straight to Fred 62 in Los Feliz, ate breakfast with just like a big shit-eating grin on my face. Like, I just met PTA.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah. That's a great
That's so
spot
cool.
too. Fred 62 is a good follow-up spot for something like that.
Yeah, if you're like awake at 5 a.m., it's the only place open.
Yeah.
I think I crushed like fucking pancakes or something ridiculous.
Yeah, their chili cheese fries need to be thicker, but it's good.
Yeah.
They shoestring them.
You
Yeah.
dropped a comment card?
Yeah, it's funny. I'm drinking red wine right now. I drank too much red wine one night, and I threw up in my bowl there, and
Dude,
That's where you
Yeah.
through up?
yeah, that's where I boked. Yeah,
I have an amazing Fred 62 throw up story where this guy he was like a post-production assistant on Workaholics, and we'd all went to the rap party, and then after he was like hammered, and afterwards a PA, I took like these two PAs out for like 4 a.m. meal or whatever, just like wrap the season. And this one dude is super fucking hammered, and the other PA is like, man, I think he's gonna like vomit. So he takes him outside, and you guys can use this as far as your like slang or whatever. But the other PA comes back and he goes, dude, he just power washed the sidewalk. And he was like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, well, I got a jet. Like, you know, it's 4 a.m. My wife's going to kill me. I got to go. But like, here's cab money, get home. I peace out. The next day I hear they couldn't get a cab because no one would fucking let him in because he was like, you know, all over the place. And then that dude pieced out, and apparently one of the dudes from the kitchen was like, I'll drive him home.
Wow.
And he drove him home to Glendale where he lived with his parents, and like knocked on the door and like woke the parents up and was like, here's your, you know, 28-year-old kid or whatever. But a power wash just stuck with me forever.
That's
good turn
That's
of phrase.
perfect. Yeah, that's perfect. Oh man.
Dude, that's good. Dude, yeah, and so to bring it full circle to this kid, I think go to college. It sounds like you want to break up for a little bit, maybe try that out. And then I think in time you guys will come back together, and I look forward to the day when you're emailing us about your upcoming nuptials. So
Or
that's what's
stay
up.
together, but it's gonna be a whole new work. It's gonna be like,
Right.
Yeah.
it's gonna be a whole new fucking ballgame.
Yeah. But I feel like he wants to break up. I feel like that's why he messaged us, was to give him the green light. But I think I said that before, but maybe not. Maybe
I
he's
love
meant to
this
be
shit
together.
because they're gonna be like, dude, we broke up, I'm single, and then she's just gonna meet some amazing pre-med guy who rocks,
Mm-hmm.
and he's gonna be like, I can't get fucking laid, like nothing is happening. And then like at holiday, like they're gonna come back to their hometown. She's gonna be like, yeah, he's like actually here with me. And it's like, what's up, man? I've heard everything about you. You sound like you're great. Like, and he's just gonna be like, Owen Wilson, meet the parents.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good call.
That's life.
Yeah, dude.
All right.
I'd say stay with it. Try it out. If he wants. If he wants.
Yeah. Stick
Flip
it
a
out.
coin. Get crazy.
Yeah. Believe in, romance, love.
That is true. It's good to believe in stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
You
Dude,
mean
that's
like
all
the
the
moon
questions.
landing?
What?
Yeah, I believe in it.
Stuff like the moon landing?
Yeah.
I have my doubts. No, I don't know. I believe in it.
Yeah, that's all the questions. Honors, that's basically it, dude. Thank you for coming on, man. It was so
Yeah,
nice
thank
talking
you.
to you. Especially
Thank you for having me,
in these
guys.
circumstances, man. It's really nice of you to still take the time to come on and talk to us. And yeah, thank you for all the time.
Of course, man. I'm just trying to show off my psychedelic snakeskin blanket over my whiteboard so nobody can see what I'm writing.
Yeah, I was looking at that.
Dude.
It's beautiful.
It's, you know, if people get tired of looking at me, they can kind of just zero in on that. It's fine.
Yeah,
Is
you
that-
wrote. Go ahead,
ahead.
Chad. No, you
Is
go.
that,
baby.
is that your writer's room you're in?
Yeah,
So-
this is my, like, it's like a basement office thing with, like, my, like, whiteboard. Then I got my computer system here, and then our gym over here, and
Nice.
kitchenette. you know, this is like quarantine writer's dungeon.
Cool.
It's badass.
You're working on some movies right now, you said?
Yeah, I'm writing, I guess the only thing that's real so far is this treasure hunt movie with Vince Vaughn for Netflix.
Oh, cool.
Nice, dude.
We'll see where that goes and what happens when that gets made. And then just a bunch of other fucking plates I'm spinning, you know, always.
Is writing your
Yeah.
favorite part?
Yeah, writing is the most rewarding for me because you're just you came up with it and you made it work. You know what I mean? Like, improv is fun because it's like, oh wow, that moment happened and it was perfect, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like, you can't get that back. Whereas like writing is like, you constructed something, you made something that like built and turned into something, and then when you see it filmed or you see an actor come fulfill a role, that shit's just fucking cool to me. But it's a slog. It's like a lot of alone time. Being in a writer's room for a TV show is like the greatest job in the world.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best job.
Because you're rapping with other people who are like-minded and quick and with it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you're just like, you're not alone. When you think of something funny, you say it out loud and people laugh or they don't, right? When you're by yourself, you think of something, you don't say it out loud. You write it down and you go, that's funny, but you don't get that reward until very far down the line. And then also like the reward is that everyone goes, we love what you wrote. It's super funny. This line made me laugh out loud. So we need to change it. And then they just get right into like the work that needs to be done. Like, whereas you can go on a riff in a writer's room about something that will never be filmed for 30 minutes and feel like you had an awesome day. You know what I mean?
There's something that I feel like that energy in the writer's room is just something that it's just like such a unique feeling.
Right. And then if you could take that, you can, like, there are always things that you're like, well, we can't film that. But if you can find that one that's just as funny as that outrageous thing you can't film and find a way to do it and you pull it off or like it's doable, like that's just like the fucking best.
Yeah. And you feel like your brain gets sharper because everyone in the writer's room is smart and the riffing is so fast that it literally feels like a workout for your brain. Yeah, I'd came out at night sometimes and I'd be like, I'm fucking tired from riffing.
Yeah. That would sometimes be the most tired I'd get.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't even like think. Uh-oh.
Oh, no, that was just my battery saying I got 10% left. How timely. But yeah, your mind's also going. You're exhausted, but your brain is still going. I would come home and my wife would be like, you're not at work anymore. Just stop. Just turn it off. Like, you don't need to be funny here. I'm like, you know, it's like when they interview sprinters during the Olympics, they're like, just finished the race. I'm like, how was it? And they're like, I mean, like, I knew I had him at the end. And then it was just, God bless.
That's the worst with boxing, too. Boxing, a guy gets knocked out or gets his head rocked for 12 rounds, and they're like, Lennox Lewis, how do you feel after that fight? He's like, I wish it went better. You're like, well, yeah, he's not going to be, like, super with it. He just got his head bopped.
Right.
I had one last thing. Did you think of Neil McDonough as the bad guy in Game Over Man when you were writing it? Because he's such a good bad guy.
He's an awesome bad guy. We didn't. We had – that was like our linchpin casting. We knew we had to get somebody super diabolical.
Who read as like a bad guy just instantly too, because he kind of has that energy.
Yeah, I mean, that dude is – those eyes. Those fucking eyes. Like, if he wasn't in movies, like – being sinister, like I don't know what else he would be doing.
Yeah, if he was like the guy at Hertz who rented you your car, you'd be like, he's too. Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah. The keys are on the back tire. You're like, am I gonna get murdered out there in the PL?
Yeah.
In the PL.
That's all I'm saying from here on out.
The PL.
Like, I don't care who gets it or what, but no, yeah, he was great. He killed it, dude. He's a Vancouver native, and we were filming up there, and so it was a no-brainer.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, sweet. Well, thanks, man.
Yeah, thank you for coming on.
Of course, dudes. Thank you for having me. Keep the stoke alive.
Thanks.
Will do, dude. Thank you.
Later.
Have a great
Later,
one.
man.
You too.
All right.
He was cool as fuck.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, dude, take it. No, I know. Dude, I had a girl last night message me and she was like, not all cops are bad. I'm like, I'm not saying that. I'm just focusing my attention on like a different situation. I'm just worried about African American people in America. And then she was like, you know what, with these protests, I'm so over it. She's like, I'm just over it. And then I was like, yeah, I think black people are over a lot of stuff. It's like,
It's a privilege to be over it.
yeah,
Jesus.
I know. She's like, I'm so over it. I was like, oh wow, yeah. So you feel bad for a day? It sucks, huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I'm also seeing a lot of accounts that like they just joined Twitter in March. It's like something weird about that. Like,
yeah,
it's,
dude. There's dicey stuff. There's been some dicey stuff where you're like, my friend Sarah had a thing on her Instagram where it's very clear that someone who's purporting to be a protester sprays pepper spray into someone's face, and then and it's like, it doesn't look like the kind of pepper spray you just pick up at a store. I don't know why they would do that or what the gain is, but I think it's just I don't know. Certain people are just trying to cause chaos.
yeah.
Yeah.
Pepper
Dude.
spray is a tricky one though. Like, you spray that, you're getting it. Like,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
it does not directed. Very
Yeah.
well.
It's like a COVID sneeze or something.
Exactly, yeah. That's the one thing is I wish people were more careful about this pandemic still happening.
Yeah. People are just acting like it's over. Some very important stuff, but
Yeah, but
yeah.
be safe as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I think a lot of cases will spike. I hope not though.
Oh, what's up, guys? I'm interrupting this podcast to let you know once again that we are brought to you by Manscaped. Manscaped, thank you so much for keeping our trims pubed, for looking after our hogs, for making sure that our DONGS dongs are looking fresh and clean. Because, guys, the reopening is right around the corner, and there's a chance that no one has seen your balls in a few months. But don't ruin your first post-quarantine date with a ball fro. Would you show up to the first day of school without a haircut? No, dude. You got to trim those pubes, baby. You got to re-enter the world looking pristine, my dog. So, yeah, Manscaped is here to provide you the best tools for your grooming experience. And, guys, I'm not going to lie. I Manscaped last night, and I slipped in bed nude, and it was a game changer. It was the best sleep of my life, and I firmly believe it was because I Manscaped. So, I mean, I think you guys want that experience as well. So don't wait. Get Manscaped now. The Lawnmower 3.0 is the best hygiene tool for the modern man. Because of their ceramic blade and skin-safe technology, your snags will be reduced while preparing yourself for post-quarantine life. Manscaped is forever changing the grooming game with their Perfect Package 3.0 Essentials Kit. Perfect Package 3.0 comes with new and improved Lawnmower 3.0 water-resistant cordless body trimmer performance boxer briefs and a travel bag for you to use when we're done Q-teaning. The Perfect Package 3.0 also comes with the Crop Preserver and Crop Reviver, the essentials, guys. The Crop Preserver is anti-chafing ball deodorant, which ensures that your afternoon stroll doesn't end with your balls sticking to your leg. That's a no-no. So the Crop Reviver is a spray-on toner for your balls. What, dude? What other company offers this? No one except Manscaped. It's made with soothing aloe and witch hazel. I don't even know what that is, but it extracts it's witch hazel extracts. And it also extracts stuff you don't want from your nuts. So, yeah, it's going to give your balls a boost. So, subscribe to the Peak Hygiene Plan to get a new replacement blade refill for your lawnmower trimmer delivered to your door every 3 months, making sure your trimmer stays fresh and clean. And treat yourself for making it through quarantine with Lawnmower 3.0. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code GODEEP20 at manscaped.com. And guys, I got to mention Father's Day is coming up. And I got my dad some Manscaped stuff. And he loved it. He loved it. He didn't really know about manscaping until I hit him up about it. And he was so fired up. This is him saying thank you. That's my dad saying thank you to Manscaped for making his balls look fresh. So, guys, use code GODEEP20 at manscaped.com. get a nice Father's Day gift, prepare yourself for the post-Q teen emergence into the world. What up, Manscaped? Thank you so much. Back to the show. JT, what did your dad say?
My dad said that he was really proud of us for having a sponsor and for making that dollar. As a business savant and a proud capitalist, my dad was like jacked on us making headway in the advertising game. And then I said, but Dad, beyond all that, have you tried the product? And he said, all right, let me give this thing a go round. My dad came back and he showed me the cleanest set of pubes I've ever seen. My dad, just a beautifully groomed section. I saw my dad's pubes and they looked amazing. My Lord, Chad, what's your beef of the week?
My beef of the week is the Caller Daddy beef. I don't know if you guys have been following this.
Dude, good beef, bro. I've been following it.
Dude, it's so interesting. I listened to Dave Portnoy's podcast on it, and I've been following the beef. Dude, I mean, and it's a good lesson for anyone in like a partnership with someone about how to handle the biz. Do not let cash get in the way. So basically, Caller Daddy is one of the top podcasts in the nation. Sophia Franklin and Alex Cooper, and they just, they talk about girl stuff. They get down and dirty. They're very real, and I think their audience really responds to that. And they signed a 3-year contract with Barstool, and starting as creators, from what I gather, it was a pretty standard contract, and the big thing is that Barstool would own their IPO, or their IP, my bad. They own their IP. It's a 3-year contract, and with the amount of listeners that they're getting, the money does not match up. But at the same time, they signed this contract when they were just starting out, so they didn't know how big it was going to get. Although you should always act as if you're going to be huge. But lesson learned. So they're renegotiating, and Sophia got a new boyfriend, this dude at HBO or whatever, and he was talking in her ear about how they can make so much more money, which they can. If you look at like what Joe Rogan is making, they're putting up Joe Rogan numbers. So like their contract was like $75,000 a year plus bonuses for like extra downloads. So according to Dave Portnoy, they're raking in around $500,000 a year. And so they're renegotiating and stalling on the contract, and then Alex wanted to stay with Barstool because Barstool was like, they're like, all right, this is ridiculous, but we're gonna make a compromise here. Here's a new deal. You make $500,000 a year guaranteed plus bonuses and merch and all this stuff. And at the end of 1 year, you get your IP. So, they probably could have made more money, but I think the important thing is that they were going to get their IP back. And then they could go do whatever they wanted with the show. But one of them, Sophia, didn't want to do that. And then Alex wanted to stay with Barstool, so they were beefing hard. And eventually it got so bad that they just split. Alex is doing the show solo. Sophia's out. And it's a bummer for their friendship, but it's an important lesson, I think, just to, not let money get in the way, but also think about the contracts you're signing.
So, yeah, dude, yeah. I think, dude, it was good for me to listen to. I was like, I've been very fascinated by it. I think the world has, right?
Yeah.
And then
totally.
I can't understand. Does Sophia just not like Barstool? Did she just not want to be on the Barstool brand anymore? Because it seemed like Barstool boosted the offer and put it in a territory where it seemed like it was more fair for the listenership that they had. But then she still didn't want to go with them, and it felt like her boyfriend just got in her ear and convinced her that it would be a greener pastures if they were at like I don't know, Earwolf or something like that.
Yeah, and I don't really understand her train of thought on it, because like if I were her, I would have just, even if she didn't want to stay with Barstool, like Barstool helped blow it up, and it was just 1 year. I mean, you sort of do your year, then you can do whatever you want with the show. As opposed to just pissing them off so that they take the IP back, and it's a whole mess. So yeah, it sounds like this boyfriend was just, she yeah, he was just in her ear, and she sort
He's a
of
little
lost.
he's a little Yoko Ono-ish.
Huge.
And
Yeah.
it's very smart the way Dave Portnoy uses his visible platform to like handle his business affairs.
Yeah,
But I'm very grateful that Mike Bertolino at All Things Comedy doesn't do it that way.
dude, totally.
Yeah. It's like if you like cross him, he'll just go straight to his audience, and it's very effective. Like he bullied like Scooter Braun into like backing out, and he's very good at like weaponizing that. But it's and it scares me. But it's not what I would want from a boss. It would make me feel uneasy if I worked for him.
Oh, totally. I mean, it's I can't imagine it like if that happened to like us, it would suck balls, but it is very entertaining.
Yeah, it is.
And we got a call from Barstool too when we were first coming up.
Yeah. No, he made fun of me on the he didn't make fun of me, but he was like, "What's your guys' story?" I was like, "This and that. Now we're full time. We make like 2 videos a month." He's like, "You're full time and you make 2 videos a month?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Well, we put a lot of thought into it." Yeah. I think we landed at the right place. So, Joe, what do you think? What do you think about Portnoy going after the color daddy girls online?
I don't know. I didn't see it. I saw a video of him yelling at some guy when he came in Barstool.
Yeah, it's an interesting beef. I really enjoyed it.
Dude, I'm fascinated by it. I watched the one girl Alex's entire 34-minute breakdown of it on YouTube.
Me too.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, no way. Dude, that's amazing. Do you think it's because we're in a partnership that it's like kind of fascinating to us to see like
Yeah, I mean it's good. It's a good lesson, like not to let money ruin things, especially for them within like a year.
Yeah, and now they're gonna replace the one girl, and it's like that.
Oh, they're gonna replace her?
Awkward to me.
I didn't know they're gonna replace her.
Yeah, I think Alex is back and Sophia's out.
Yeah, but she's doing it solo right now.
Oh, okay. I thought she was gonna get another host.
I listened to her episode back, and she's gonna have guests. She said, and she's gonna like have fans come on to talk. But I'm not sure if she's replacing the host. Maybe in time she will find a replacement.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's a great beef though, dude. That's one of my. I've been fascinated by that beef.
Yeah,
everyone's talking about it. Like everybody's covering it.
Well, they're huge. I mean, I don't know how many listens they got, but they're on the list. They're up there with Joe Rogan.
Right. I guess Santino called when Santino subbed in for Callan on The Fighter and the Kid, and they had both of the color daddy girls on. Mm-hmm. I guess he said one of you will get a boyfriend and it will come in between you guys.
He said that?
Yeah, I guess he predicted it. I've only seen that as a comment. I haven't seen the actual footage of him saying that, but people are saying he called it. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aaron, what's your take on it?
Just always keep your IP.
Yeah.
Do we get our IP from ATC, right?
100%.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
It's yours now. You'll be yours forever.
Yeah, ATC's a company by comedians for comedians.
Yeah. And Strider's show, guys, Strider's show is going to be coming out pretty soon. Get ready for History is Dank. And I was talking to him about it, and dude, Strider is effusive about you, Aaron.
Yeah,
you were like,
it's been super fun. Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. 2 best guys. Aaron, what's your beef of the week?
My beef of the week is with the local news. I've been watching a lot, obviously because of what's going on in the world and the protests, and mostly been watching CBS 2 here in LA, which is also KTLA somehow. But man, just there's one guy in particular who's out on the street. He's in harm's way, so I get it. Like, he's doing something brave, but he's just constantly. And then the news anchors back at home base are constantly like putting like attaching a narrative or speculating on a narrative, and it's super upsetting because it's wrong. And I think local news should just literally just show us what's happening. Like, this guy on the street talks like there's not something incredibly exciting happening right in front of him. Whether it's, just people saying how they feel, and there's cops right there, and this guy just is going on and on about how this thing started. It's like, dude, everybody knows. Like,
Yeah.
There's not even a grandma turning on the news right now who doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah.
So yeah, my beef is with those guys. Just show us what's happening, man, because so much can be misconstrued. And then if all you hear is the misconstrued, then that's all you think, and that's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think that the news with how it's like if you turn on the news, it's just like the worst things.
It's trash. It's
every
horrible.
time, and you're like, and then like you said with like the protests, there was like, peaceful, empowering, inspiring stuff happening, but they don't show any of that really.
No.
It's just like there are riots happening, and you're like, oh fuck, and then then you talk to people who like drive through, they're like, it's not as bad as it was on the news, and you're like, what is the news? What's the benefit of what they're doing?
No, they're fuckheads, man. They're just trying to get attention so that they can keep their bottom line secure. Like, they're under existential threat because social media has totally just destroyed the way people consume information, or destroyed their model for how people can consume information, and they're just sending out awful messaging. It's ridiculous, dude. No, honestly, I went to the riots today on Sunset, or the riot. Sorry, I'm so sorry. I went to the protest. It wasn't a riot on Sunset, and it was totally peaceful. And if you were there, I think anybody would have been inspired by what was going on. Like, there were people of every color, every age, just saying like, hey, what happened to George Floyd was fucked up. None of these people are trying to loot or do any of that shit. They're literally just trying to help people who are, not being protected.
And I don't even believe that the news people are purposely misleading. I just think you don't need to be on a live mic for 5 hours.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, you just don't, like, let some of that breathe. Like, it's not dead air. We're hearing there's audio coming from the outside world. Like, just, we don't need what, Joe, whatever, no, not Joe Morisi. Whatever. So I'd love to hear Joe Morisi on the news.
Yeah, he'd be great.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
We just don't need, like, you don't have to fill that time. Like, there's something incredible happening. We can all see it. It's not radio. Shut up.
Yeah.
And I posted about Black Lives Matter, and I firmly believe in that. I think that it's an important thing to support, and I think that it doesn't mean that we don't care about other people. Our compassion's not limited. We're just focusing on the people who I think are being most oppressed. But also, I feel for the shop owners and the people who got their places. I mean, I was driving around today. You see sweet older guys who are, bolting up their store with wood because their shit got broken from whoever. And yeah, they don't have a part in this, and it's a tragedy. But I think what started all this tragedy is, and what the core issue here is the systemic oppression of Black people. And that's what we're trying to, if we can fix that, I think you wouldn't have these other issues that are affecting other innocent people. But yeah. But my beef of the week is with passwords. My beef of the week is with passwords, dude. I was trying to log into Microsoft Xbox for something, and they're like, what's your password? I'm like, I don't know my fucking password, Microsoft. Why the fuck do I have another password with you, okay? And then people are like, hey, you can't have the same password for everything, because then if someone finds out your password, they have access to everything. And I'm like, Well, I don't care. All right. I'm tired. I got 6,000 passwords. I don't know any of them. Every time I go to my like Spectrum Cable, Microsoft, my bank, every time they ask me for my password, if it's not already saved into the device that I'm logging into it with, I have to create a new password every time. And then so every time I'm taking the same old password I had and I'm adding another exclamation point to it. And I'm just confusing myself even more, dude. Or I'm changing one letter so it's capitalized because they have their own bullshit characters requirements. And I'm just like, screw all these passwords, dude.
Dude, I feel that so deep in my loins. Just
That's where I'm trying to reach you.
yeah, dude. I mean, what's with all these accounts? Dude, you got to make accounts for like, you know, if you want to track your package, or like you need to make an account. And I'm like, just tell me where the package is, all right? You know, I want green juice. I don't want to make another password. I don't know, man.
And then they're like, connect with Facebook. You know I'm gonna connect with Facebook.
Yeah, for
You know
sure.
I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And then that's a weird gray area. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
they just had a massive walkout at Facebook today. The whole company's revolting against Zuckerberg.
Yep.
Because he won't fact check Big T.
I mean, we got to get a hold of technology and passwords and accounts in our pubes, dudes. I mean, that's what we got to do.
Bro, I'm stoked on it, though. Let's get a hold of it, dude. We're going to figure out all this shit, and it's going to be a brighter day. We got this. And once we take care of Corona, and once we take care of racial injustice, then we're going to scooch on over to climate change, and we're going to fix that shit. And then we're just going to be cruising, baby. It's going to be easy street. Is that dumb?
It's optimistic, and I love it.
Yeah. All right, Chad, who's your babe of the week?
My baby of the week is I'm gonna go with myself. What up, Chad? You're a babe. Thank you. I got a solo win in Warzone,
Dude.
a few days ago, and I'm not gonna lie, Stokers. I suck. So I don't know how this happened, but in those 30 minutes or less, I was free.
Dude,
In those 30 minutes of virtual combat, when I had, you know, an epic silenced SMG or LMG, I can't remember, with a thermal scope, I was free. And I, you know, every time I saw a dude, just straight up, you know, I think it's because I did that Murph workout, and I just, you know, I think I was just channeling my inner warrior, and you know, I will post the win soon when it's more appropriate.
You're a beast. Dude, same here. I posted about your W. I was so fired up on it, but it wasn't the time for it, so I had to take it down. But I'm so fired up on your WZW.
Thank you, man. I was alone Saturday night, you know. I was thinking about the drill factor, then I got the W, and I didn't drill myself.
That's nice, dude.
I kept the jizz in my balls.
Retain your goo, bro.
Retain it.
Beast. Aaron, who's your babe of the week?
My babe of the week is the block button on social media. It's good. It's just like, you know, what I got into with people was I just retweeted something from someone else and got attacked by a follower who's probably a fan of another podcast on ATC, who I hadn't had a problem with. But, dude, I don't need to go back and forth with you. No, I think he was from Punch Drunk. I'm not sure. That's all he had on his profile was that he loved the Falcons. But, you know, it's like I just retweeted something. He tweeted something else at me. It was supposed to be equal, and it turned out. And I immediately I went into defense mode. I went, oh, okay, let me see the source of what you posted or what you're tweeting at me. And there's a guy from Breitbart, and I'm like, aha, something's fishy about this. And sure enough, later on that night, it was the video. I was tweeting a video that was like a supercut of cops being violent.
I saw that. It's horrible.
It's horrible.
Fucking bullies. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not okay. No matter what happens.
Yeah.
They have to be better than that.
Yeah.
And then he tweets at me this video of this group of dudes like brutally beating this white guy.
I saw
And
that.
I'm
That was
like-
horrible too.
And I'm like, that's
That was
horrible.
terrible. Yeah.
I'm not arguing that that's not horrible. But I'm looking at your source is a guy at Breitbart, and he's saying it's because of this scenario, this context. And I'm like, I don't trust that guy. And then sure enough, later that night, it's because the white guy that got beat up, and it's still horrible,
Had a machete, right?
he had a sword.
Yeah.
He was chasing dudes with a sword under the guise of defending his business. As soon as you start chasing someone, you're on offense.
Well, and that dude came out and actually had good humility in his tweets. The guy who got his ass rocked,
Oh, really?
and he said he didn't even own that place. That was a bar he liked to drink at, and he was protecting the bar because he liked to drink there. And you
Okay.
know, I
Respect.
admire the guy's bravery.
Not with
but-
a deadly weapon.
No, it was a crazy, and he even acknowledged, he was like, "Look, in retrospect, this was probably stupid that I did this." Yeah.
He was able to like talk coherently.
Yeah, I mean
I
that
think
video was
so.
brutal. So I'm glad he's okay. Or at least
Yeah, he looked dead. Yeah.
yeah, that video looks like they left him. But I mean, it's scared people. You know, and you come at them with a sword and then you lose that sword? Ooh. Like to show me only a piece of a video as evidence of something. I'm like, nah. And then, you know, I'm just block. And then I sent that video to him after I'm blocked so he can still see it, but I don't have to hear back from him. Block button's beautiful. What a babe.
Dude, my babe of the week is Oliver Platt. I think one of the
Oh.
better characters of all time.
Yeah.
Does incredible work in The Three Musketeers, A Time to Kill, Flatliners, Lake Placid.
Big Placid.
He's tremendous in all of these movies. He is so good at just playing blowhards, but bringing so much likability to them. And I just think he's one of the most underrated actors of all time. And he's had some really choice parts that are in smaller movies like Please Give, where he can really show off the full array of his skills, and they are immense. So to everyone, I would check out Oliver Platt, Three Musketeers, Lake Placid. These are not great movies, but he is great in them. And he's just a treasure. Oh, Casanova. That's another like who cares, who remembers movie that he is just full of inspiration and like genuinely funny. And he's dealing with mediocre scripts and he's just bringing life to him. So I'm grateful to have Oliver Platt in my life. I thought about him the other day and I was like, we're not talking about Oliver Platt enough. That dude's a fucking beast. So Oliver Platt, you're my baby of the week.
Nice.
Chad, who's your legend of the week?
My legend of the week is my niece Taylor. My brother sent me a video of her. She's starting to talk now, and she said thank you. It was the cutest thing I've ever seen.
Oh, dude.
Yeah,
You're the cutest thing I've ever seen when you say that, dude.
thanks.
Fucking adorable, bro.
Thank you.
Dude, the girl I'm seeing, she said she liked when you had a beard in our YouTube video. I made her watch one of our videos.
Oh, really?
In our YouTube rabbit hole video, she said she liked when you had a beard.
Thank you. Tell her thank you. Yeah, I don't know. I've always preferred the clean shaven, but
No,
I appreciate her. Yeah, I did get a lot of nice comments when I had it. People were like, "I like the scruff."
You look great both
Yeah.
ways.
And I was like, "Thank you."
Dude, we do dirty talk where we say we love each other.
That's weird.
But then we agree afterwards that we don't. Aaron, who's your legend of the week?
Whatever works, man. My legend of the week is the center, number 33, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Beast.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's been advocating for change for so long. You know, from the moment he changed his name from Lou Alcindor to sparring with Bruce Lee to dominating on the basketball court to where they had to like change the rules. There's no dunk anymore. This guy's too good. And then his article that he wrote for the LA Times the other day is just beautiful.
Proper Renaissance man.
Yeah. And
Most
100%.
unstoppable move in NBA history, and then he's a beast with the pen too. Yeah.
What a great dude.
Strider tells the story often. I dragged Strider to see Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy in theaters. I fell asleep immediately and slept throughout the 2.5 hour slog that movie is. And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was in the theater, and Strider says he looked around the theater, everyone was asleep, and then he saw Kareem in the back, fully focused on the entire movie.
And unmissable.
Yeah, his long ass in the back. Yeah, I love him.
He's in an airplane.
Yeah,
Don't forget that.
he's the best. He's in this doc called The Blacklist, which is just like black artists and luminaries and stuff talking about their experience, and he's so interesting in it. He's a really compelling guy. My legend of the week is Matt Fraser. He's the best CrossFitter in the world 4 years in a row. Guys, watch the CrossFit documentary on Netflix. You'll feel shot out of a cannon. It'll just make you better at whatever you're trying to do in your day. This guy is 5'9", 195, and he just gets after it, dude. I'm talking clean and jerks. I'm talking muscle ups. I'm talking pull ups. I'm talking upside down push ups. The guy can do it all. And, he's going up against guys who are on roids, and he still whoops that ass. And he just has a great perspective on things. He's got, a wife that he loves. I heard he lives in his mom's basement, and he's a world champion from there. I love that because I've been thinking about moving into my mom's house. And he just has good quotes too. Like he says, like, look, if you look at any of these individual events, none of them are in my wheelhouse. But I work out hard every day so that I don't have a wheelhouse. And I was like, get it, Matt Fraser. And he's not like, he's never bitter and he's never arrogant. And he just lives in this middle place where he just takes life as it is and he's confident in his abilities, and that's enough. And I just found it very inspiring. So I've talked shit on CrossFit before for its like kind of culty like atmosphere, but I'm buying in, dude. Sign me up for the cheesy maxims and the hard muscle ups. I think it works, baby.
Are you gonna join a gym?
Nah,
Nice.
but in my head, I think it's cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Chad, what's your quote of the week?
I'm gonna keep going with Van Wilder. So this is Van Wilder, and they're doing the naked mile run, and so he's standing there with Tara Reid, and she's like, everyone is naked, and he's like, well, it is the naked mile run. Everyone else will be in their birthday suits. And then this guy with like super hairy back just comes up, gives everyone a high five, and he's like, except that guy. I love that part.
That's fire.
And that's it.
Dude, keep going, Van Wilder. That's a good flick.
Yeah.
Aaron, what's your quote of the week?
My quote of the week is from that article that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar wrote for the LA Times. My mic is on, right?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, new headset. Learning it. We're three helicopter
Looks
pilots
good,
talking
dude.
to each other. Let me see. Okay, here we go. Racism in America is like dust in the air. It seems invisible, even if you're choking on it, until you let the sun in. Then you see it's everywhere. As long as we keep shining the light, we have a chance of cleaning it wherever it lands. We have to stay vigilant because it's always still in the air.
Nice. That's awesome.
Hell yeah.
My quote of the week is from the movie Almost Famous. It's from a deleted scene where Russell, the guitarist from Stillwater, played unbelievably by Billy Crudup, is talking to the main character, William, and he's talking to him about art, and he goes, but it's not what you put in, is it? It's what you leave out. Listen to Marvin Gaye, a song like What's Going On. The single woo at the end of the second verse, you know that woo, that single woo? That's what you remember. The silly things, the little things. There's only one, and it makes the song. It's what you leave out. That's rock and roll. Yeah.
Cool.
I thought about that. Whenever I watch a lot of comedy movies or TV shows, you can tell that whatever they're setting up as the big joke, like the huge thing, that's not what I remember. It's little character things that they do. Like it's always kind of like a smaller thing. Which seems to be more of like a happy accident or something, you know?
And sometimes with that huge bit that they're building up, if they hit it with a needle instead of a sledgehammer,
yeah,
your brain likes it more. It appreciates the restraint, and you're like,
right. Yeah.
They're like, you didn't kill me with it. Yeah. You got that kind of master and control to it.
Yeah.
What's up, dog?
There's something to that.
Yeah. What's your phrase of the week for getting after it?
Let's put on our jeans.
Nice, dude. Let's put them on. I'm wearing them right now. What's your phrase of the week for getting after it, Aaron?
Start a revolution.
Hey, baby. My quote of the week for getting after it is from Matt Fraser, the aforementioned CrossFit legend. He says 35 minutes into the Dubai doc that's on Netflix, he says, if you do badass stuff, you don't have to brag. Other people will brag for you. And I was like, dude, that made me never want to brag again. That was some cool shit. So I respect the hell out of that guy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's a beast. And that's it, dudes. All right, guys, good stuff. Stay safe out there, guys.
Yeah, stay safe. Aaron, good to see you.
Yeah, you too, guys.